Good evening, Manchester United. It is Friday night. This is Mick Ruby, MUFC Realist TV. It's getting hot in here, and Manchester United are acting like a big club. It feels weird to say that we are getting our club back. We've been sleeping under the rock for 11 years under the Glazers, but never forget that the Glazers are still run here. But kudos to Ineos that actually delivering, and we have big things to talk about today. Massive updates, and plus, I want you also to go into MUFC Realist TV. The link is pinned in the Q&A chat as well, but also go into the website to vote for the current transfer. Joshua Zirkzee, done deal, apparently number 9. What is going on? I mean, I think this today's show is going to be predominantly in the chat regarding Mason Greenwood and Jadon Sancho. Did he kiss the ring with Ten Hag? He's going to stay. Ugarte, what's going on with that one? Casemiro seems to go to Al Ittihad as well. Lenny Yoro says yes to Manchester United. The long Lenny Yoro's legs, 100%. Brent Way, are we going in for 3 centre-backs? Looks like we're going to do that as well. The Ligt to Manchester United seems to be in the next done deal show. Zirkzee, the Z, is apparently done his medical, and he says to be having the number 9. And Rasmus Højlund going to go the number 11. And guess what? Omar Berada starts tomorrow. This is Mick Ruby. This is MUFC Realist TV. I'll be joined by Mark Nurse coming in here raw. Until then, guys, you know what to do. Smash the like button, and we shall see you in a couple of minutes. This is the M&M show. Let's do this. It's Friday. It is 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Central European time. And for me, it is 2 a.m. where I'm sitting in Thailand at the moment. It's been a crazy week in the world of Manchester United. It's like unprecedented things are happening. We're not used to it. And I believe that, you know, Lillis United is coming in here, Glazers out and all that, like, and he's PTSD. I understand that. But this is insane. Like, we are putting bits left, right, center. We are doing smart bits on the market. We are first putting football first and then finances in the second. And the way we are constructing the deals, it is insanity. Joshua Zirkzee is over the line. Joshua Zirkzee had his medical. And apparently, it's been confirmed that he's going to have the number 9. And Rasmus is apparently choosing the number 11. So what is that going to be? It's going to be excitement. And I mean, I said it yesterday, and it's heating up that the next one will be the Ligt. Will it be a Monday? Will it be a here we go over the weekend? Will he travel over and complete his move? We are moving like Jagger, moves like Jagger. At the end of the day, this is a lot of things that we're going to talk about. But guys, I want to bring this to the stage. Get the opportunity right now. I'm going to add this to the stage. Guys, you know, MUFC Realist TV, we are the only one that's currently doing this. Fair and square, like, you know, the reason why I'm saying that, because this is unique. Everything that we be linked to, we put up there. You know, everything that has legs, we put up there. And you get to be involved by voting on the most likely. We do have a done deal, so therefore Zirkzee is not part of it anymore. If you go into the tab to say done deal here, you see done deals, you will see the exact figure and the done deal. But until then, guys, get your votes in, because this is coming down at the end of the show, or kind of the middle of the show. Let me know what you think. Matthias de Ligt to Manchester United. Do you think that's going to happen over the weekend, or do you think it's going to be a here we go on Monday? Apparently, we are advancing very, very fast, as per reported by myself yesterday. And why do I speak like a speeded Fabrizio Romano? Hey everybody, welcome to MUFC Realist TV. Because there's a lot of things going on. I mean, there's a lot of things to cover. And pin back your ears. It's Friday. Say cheers. Raise your glass, whatever you're drinking. I'm having a double shot espresso because it's 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm going to pin back my eyes wide open because I can't believe what I'm seeing at the moment. But never in my foot, like, you know, never in my foot, never in my years covering Manchester United have I seen this We are acting like a big club, guys. We are basically coming here, bossing everyone to say regarding Lenny Yoro as well. We are confident. We're moving like swagger. We have that Manchester United swagger coming back to say, look, we are confident we're going to get Lenny Yoro over the line. Why? Because we put in a bid on 50 million euros, which has been accepted. At the end of the day, it is all about development. We're going to talk about that as well. Lenny Yoro haven't said no. His head has been turned because he's been speaking to Real Madrid to find out that, hey, we fancy you, but we cannot afford to pay for you, right? Because we have FFP constraints, because we splashed all the cash on, the marquee signing, which is Mbappe. And therefore, we're speaking to you, we like you, but we are moving away from another alternatives just in case, because we cannot compete. 17 million is what we can offer. But hey, this is our terms. We're cool and composed. We are the kings. We are the Reals. And we will come for you at the end of the window. If not, we'll come for you next year. Yeah. You get my point, what that sounds like. What if you're going for your dream employment, right? And your future boss might say so. You've gone through all this interview process, and and you get to understand that, yeah, we fancy you, but we have a hiring freeze at the moment, and just wait a couple of months, and a potential will come back to next year. What would you do, right? You would definitely go for another job. I'm not going to sit around and wait, because at the end of the day, if you really love me the way I am, hey, you'll come for me sooner or later, maybe in 4 years' time. And we're going to talk about that one as well, because I want to go into the chat to hear what you guys have to say. Listen, this is excitement in a box. Some people call it, I hate it. Some people call it, wake me up before we go. But we are doing bits. We are... since when did we saw a signing before preseason? We might even get 3 signings coming into the door. Al Ittihad is coming in raw for Casemiro, and that deal is kind of interlinked in Ugarte. Wow, right? I say wow. And we're playing apparently on Monday against Rosenborg, right, in Norway. So guys, smash the like button, please, for the living God, and let me know what you think. We have Mark coming in here as well. We have almost 1,000 watching. So can we get over 2,000 likes? Well, that's a little bit more to ask. Some people say get 500 likes, but listen, it's up to you. It's free. Smash the like button, and we should be very grateful on this Friday, because hey, we haven't been live today. This is the first live stream. Let me see who's in their house. Let me give you a massive shout out, big up to all of you. Let's say Lucky Singh is here. Lily's acting like a big club. Lilis, I understand you, brother. You know what? My ass, what you're saying, keeping the toxic player Sancho just can never been changed. Well, I guess this is going to be the predominantly opening topic regarding Sancho. Apparently, he's come back to training. He kissed the ring of Ten Hag, and he said, "I'm sorry," but it didn't go in public. But what does it mean for the club? That means that we don't have to go on the market and spend the money. Doesn't mean that Sancho can be integrated to play on the right, play on the left. I'm going to start a poll further down the line, and I want to hear from you guys what you think. But does it open up the door regarding what Ineos are planning to do with Greenwood as well? Right? Question mark, right? We do a big question mark, because apparently we said we want 40 million for Greenwood. We want 40 million, but we ain't getting 40 million. So we're kind of pimping out, trying to see, what are we going to get, right? And there's Marseille, they had a sort of an agreement in place, and then Greenwood hasn't agreed, right? And then you see the mayor of Olympic Marseille coming with despicable statements. And if you looking at that, you say, I'm not going to feel safe here, right? Am I really going to play here? I don't know, man. I just don't really know. Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, guys, smash the big like button. Melis is here as well. Sancho, what you saying here? Had a better stats than Wirtz season 2 in a row. There's a massive potential, but it's too late for Sancho to return. Is it? Let's talk about that. Big up Stephanie Griffith as well. Let's talk about the Sancho story. And what better way to do that is to bring Mark Nurse to the stage. Big up, Mark, coming in raw all the way from Germany, and always on mute, Mark. Do I need to hire a sign language specialist to go?
Oh, big up, guys. Big up, guys. What's going on? Hope you're well. Hope you're having a great Friday afternoon, guys. It's going to be really nice this weekend. I'm pretty sure we're going to get some good news, possibly like Mick has been talking about. I mean, it's interesting with the Sancho thing that you guys are talking about right now. You know, I had to say that I was actually thinking maybe he might be on the way to Juventus because, you know, they proposed recently in the last few hours a swap deal with Chiesa for him. But, you know, at the same time, I always said to everyone throughout the season, for me, Sancho was a player that Eric Ten Hag favored. It's why he backed him and gave him the 3 months off. So if he really apologized to Ten Hag and the team, which is most important, like I know the fans deserve an apology, but at the same time, the most important thing, guys, is what he is him and the manager and the team. And if those guys say, listen, we will accept you back, you give your word that you're going to give a better performance coming in, you know, that it works for me. And if it doesn't work out between now and January, guys, the window opens in January. Maybe we could offload some players there.
Yeah, you know, I heard some rumors that Jadon Sancho walked into Eric Ten Hag's office. He put down his phone, he put on Spotify, and he put "Take That," and he said, "I want you back. I want you back. I won't be back for good. Whatever you say, whatever I did, I didn't mean it. I just want to be back for good."
Well, you never know, Mick. You know, what I think is for the greater good. Listen, Sancho is an asset, right? As much as we all might have our reluctance, big up to Steph, of course, you know how it is. You know, I don't have the new one yet, and Mick is rocking the one that I want to get, so I got to wear the old school. You know what I mean?
Well, Grasshopper, you have to move to Thailand because here you can get all the counterfeits and all these apps. So yeah, €10, my brother.
I'll come visit soon. I'll come visit soon for sure. Don't worry.
Yo, and you don't even sponsor the Glazers. That's the thing. It's a beautiful kit, Snapdragon, and we have some beautiful people rocking up here. The chat is lit. The chat is lit like the lit. And listen, I don't want to dwell too much about it, but I think that we need to sort of weather out the storm because, you know, I see the chat is going like, you know, mixed emotions. I don't want that. I don't want this. I don't want that. So let's start with the negative. Let's just get it clear the air. Apparently, it's been reported. Pictures are there. Jadon Sancho is back in training. Multiple reports saying that he had private conversation with Ten Hag. He kissed the ring and said, "I'm sorry." Right?
Yeah.
Mark, what does that mean?
That means we got a right or left wing option, possibly a false nine option going into the season that we didn't have, that we were trying to fill. You know, it's a void that we were trying to fill. Maybe this allows us to do some other business that we wanted to do. Now, you know, listen, guys, I know a lot of you are worried about Ahmad. You're worried about the youngsters coming up needing game time, but realistically, they can't all play 55 games in a row this season, can they? So you're going to need that for rotation. You know, we do have 8 wingers currently on the books. You know what I mean? That may change in a few weeks. It might be 7, it might be 6. You never know. But at the same time, currently, guys, we definitely need to have some form of, you know, backup in situations where we can field a different team in the Carabao Cup every week. We could field a different team in the FA Cup. You know, we could have alternate teams in the new league format for the Europa League. It's something we got to do, guys.
Look, we all had this debate for 1 year. Sancho didn't deserve this, but you know, all we wanted is an apology because there's a good player in him, right? And what is it to say that he cannot sort of perform, right? And that's the thing. We have all the way from St. Lucia, big up, and we have celebrities coming in the house as well. He is the advocate of Jadon Sancho, and he's buzzing. I can see his smile, and he hasn't been on for a while. Can you guess who he is? We are talking about a legendary, the original, the one and only Phil Standish. Welcome to the stage, brother.
Big up, Phil.
Good evening.
Where have you been?
Where
have you been?
I'm good. We're better now. Definitely better now you're here. What's good, man?
I've missed you guys. Honestly, I try to watch a few shows here and there, and you've seen me catching in the middle of the day on weekends at night.
Yeah,
just
you've been
good. A few comments and stuff, but it's mad busy, and I just thought I've got an opportunity tonight. Nothing planned, so nothing to arrange. So it's opportunity to jump in.
It's so good to see you, brother. Listen, you've been part of this journey from the very first beginning. We are on the 31,000 subscribers. Remember when you and me started, brother? You remember where we were at?
I was sat on this very couch when we first spoke on the phone. I remember it, mate. It was amazing.
Big up,
it's
good to see you.
How can I get to Sweden to see you? That was the original.
You have to. Yeah, exactly. Listen, talk to us, Jadon Sancho, because we need to sort of dust out that thing. Are you happy? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think he's staying?
My initial reaction is I'm happy if it's sorted. you know, we all saw what he did in the Champions League. We know that he's still got the ability to do things. And if it's about cutting off your nose to spite your face, it's a lot of money. You feel like the management's going, look, what's gone on here? What can we do to sort this out? And if Ten Hag said, I just want him to apologise, that's all I want. And then someone rang his agent and said, look, let's be men here. Let's be grown-ups. And they said, all he's going to do is just say, you know, sorry, whatever. Doesn't have to be public. Just get it done, move on, get on with it, sort of thing. So if that's happened, then, you know, let's see what comes of it, because I think the pre-season only being a week away is going to tell a lot. Apparently, he's not going to the first game, but he should be available for Rangers. So because he's only just turned up at training today, so it gives it chance for things to happen to either make a move, but obviously with the Greenwood move not gone ahead yet, with Elise going to Bayern, obviously we're looking at the moment through the spine as opposed to the wings. I know we're linked with Doué, but obviously he's heavily linked with Spurs.
Yep.
And so
also Bayern, to be honest, Bayern.
Doué, yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit twist that we're going to talk about as well regarding that one.
Okay. But yeah, so I think with Sancho, I think, you know, what was nice to see in the photos, it was a bit of a statement from United. They've not tried to sneak him in through the back door. They put it out on their app, on their social media, basically saying Sancho's back in training. They haven't done that for anybody else. They've said that the lads are back, and then they went, oh, and Jonny Evans is back. It's
Johnny
a little
Evans
bit of a. But the point is, it's a little bit of a it was an actual headline that they created. I can't remember the last time that I saw a headline like that about somebody entering training from when Rooney did his metatarsal for England and said, big man's back. That's the last time I saw a headline about anyone joining training. Do you know what I mean? So to me, it's a bit of a statement from the club saying, things are done, move on. And obviously in the press conference, things will come out. Ten Hag will be questioned. He'll say it's sorted, move on. And I think obviously depending on his actions now, what goes on behind the scenes or at training, whatever, between now and Rosenborg and Glasgow and stuff like that, I think that will tell a lot as to whether he really is sorry for whatever's happened and he's got an attitude change about it. But if you think the likes of Ruud is there and you've got three managers essentially there now who, enough of them to get together and go, look, I'll look after him for the next couple of weeks or something like that. You don't know. Yeah. Maybe that's the sort of thing that's been said.
I'm going to start a poll on it. You know, what better way to start a poll on that? Like, you know, because what it comes to at the end of the day is money saving. What it comes to at the end of the day is basically we don't want Federico Chiesa. The bids were scandalous. Like alone with the non-obligation to buy, we couldn't sell him for a packet of crisps even if we wanted to. So for him to come back now, apologize, there's a good player in him. What is to say that under this new structure, what you say, Ruud van Nistelrooy and everyone, he can play a big part in the role? Because what we've been complaining about is squad depth, right? So what if it's become a very happy camp and we see the best of Sancho? What happened to Phil here?
Yeah, he just disappeared there. He'll be back. He's back.
Yeah, no, it's just a question, right? You know, so there you are. So that is my question. Like, you know, for me, I look at the club. I don't care about what they're doing behind the scenes, all that stuff, right? I want us to compete. I want us to sort of raise the standards. We are acting like a big club at the moment. And, you know, to give second chances, to apologize, that's the biggest thing in life. You know what I mean? No matter which religion you belong to and human values, you start put your hand up and apologize. And everyone deserves a second chance.
Even if it's a second or a third or a fourth chance, you know, the problem you've got is he's got to win the fans over. And the only way he's going to do that is by his performance on the pitch and not just scoring goals, playing, assisting. You know, the photos today, he's not smiling on those. That's the next shot that comes that appears in the media, isn't it? When he's smiling in the things and he stood near Ten Hag or something like that. At the moment, you can see Ten Hag in the background on the images, almost looking away. It's obviously it's not depicted in that way, but that's the way that people can look at it. It's going to be quite telling what happens because there's a lot of training pictures coming out each day at the moment. So let's see what happens. And at the end of the day, you don't want to take that much of a loss that you could potentially going to lose on him when it could be a serious acquisition. And when you look at the average age of our players that we're looking at, that we're buying, that we've got already, that we're building a squad around, we are building something special. So maybe he can be part of that.
Right. Quickly around you, Mark, what you think? Like, I started basically a poll here. Would you give Sancho a second chance at Manchester United? I want to hear from you guys. Get your polling in right now. Let's keep it up for 10 minutes. But until then, quickly around the corner. What about you, Mark? What do you reckon?
I mean, to be fair, like I understand the reservations of most fans. I would say that I'm both backing what Phil is saying, because I totally have that soft spot for Sancho as well. You know, I have it for Greenwood as well, but that's a different story. At the same time, I think it's progress for the club. You know, you don't want an untenable situation. It was always going to be a difficult situation to get him sold for 40 million euros this summer. Even though he performed well at Dortmund, I think it wasn't enough for him to garner 40 million euros. I think maybe at best 25. But, you know, it's one of those things where I would back the manager in this situation. If he had a discussion and he said, you know what, let's move on. Let's see what you're going to offer. Maybe we don't know. He probably says, listen, I'm giving you 6 months to prove your worth on the pitch. And then we can have some discussions over that going forward. But for whatever worth it's worth, it saves us money. And also, you never know, you might get a better Sancho than we saw the last 3 years. Maybe. You never know.
Yeah, no, I see the polling is now rocking. You have, I think, 54% saying no at the moment. So, no, 54% saying yes. So, yeah, people are starting to turn. We do have a bloody super chat coming in as well. Tommy Boyle coming in a row with another super chat. We're going to save that because we want to also say happy birthday to Shay Arsenal. We have a happy birthday boy here. Big congratulations and big up to you, Ivan Perot, as well. Big up. But for most likely, we want to say happy birthday to one of our community members. Apparently, it's his birthday, Shay Arsenal. Shay, big up, Shay. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Brodsky. You know, Jarvis was yesterday. You know.
And Jarvis had his birthday yesterday. Jarvis Cocker. It was his legendary 47th birthday there as well. So we did say happy birthday. But until then, we have a super chat coming in. Keep that super chat flowing. And there's over 700 of you watching right now. Can we get over 200 likes? That would be super fantastic. Let's go. Super chat incoming.
Super chat, super chat, super chat. Super chat.
And Tommy Boyd is coming in to say, with his $5, or what do you say, 5 British pounds?
£5 super chat.
£5, yeah. Big up Tommy for coming in and supporting the channel, guys. Youngsters deserve a second chance, according to Tommy. We all make mistakes when we're young. 100% agree. You know, haven't you been 17, 18 and been young and stupid? We all been, right? Perhaps Sir Jim conducted the meeting, but which Erik ten Hag ring did Sancho kiss, Mike? Well, that's just a figure of speech, like, you know, kiss and make up, kind of, like, you know, because when I'm saying kiss the ring, he's the boss. You will never win against the club and the manager, never, right?
100%.
So that is my opinion, and we're going to speak about second chances and other players as well, so stick around for that one. I want to hear your opinion, Phil. What do you reckon regarding Tommy Boy's super chat here? Morally speaking,
I mean,
from your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, like I said, you know, everyone deserves a second chance, third and fourth chance, as long as it's genuine. It could be that the club are looking like that they've made, because what we've seen over the last few weeks is Ahmad coming out saying, this is my season, this is my breakthrough season, this is my opportunity. Now, is he saying that not expecting Sancho to turn up? Is he going to be like, whoa, hang on, what just happened there? Crazy U-turn coming on. I don't want him to be impacted because he really deserves his chance. Anthony tried his chance last season and didn't get it, whether it's because of stuff that was going on off the pitch or what, I do not know. You know, there is rumours that Anthony's up for sale. I actually think that what the club are doing are just acting very smart with the management they've got. They're doing a lot of things very well. And I think by bringing Sancho back into the fold, it makes it either easier for to give him a chance and give us options, left and right wing, and through the middle, and different formations and different things to try. With the, you know, you've got Zirkzee and Højlund now, so we've got 2 proper centre forwards. So we could be looking at some sort of different formation anyway, different sort of layout. But also by having a player who is playing for your club and playing well gives you a better resale value if you decide to take that choice as well.
Right, Mark, can I have you
100%.
say?
I agree with Phil, and I also was always under the impression that Jadon Sancho was the man to really unlock Højlund in that middle of the park. For me, I will always go back and say his link up with Haaland was something that he was the major contributor to, and I think Højlund need a player like him on the wing. If not him, Mason Greenwood, in my opinion. But
Right. Okay, guys, we're going to close the poll on that one because we got to move on to the show. And massive thank you. I mean, it's so important to understand that human beings as well, and the biggest thing in life for me is forgiveness. That is the most humble thing you can do, right? Imagine a world if you just forget and don't forgive people, right? What kind of world would we be living? And unfortunately, we're living in a modern world today, guys, that there's no justice anymore. You look around in the world and social media is dominating, and opinions matters more than actually you're guilty. If somebody points the finger at you, social media, they smear you. Media is like one-sided kind of thing, and it's not the way it used to be, right? So sensitive, very sensitive. And this has been a very sensitive topic, regarding Greenwood and Sancho and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it needs to come out with, can you forgive, right? I don't, if you're a good Christian or Muslim or Buddhism, forgiveness is part of everyone's religion, right? True?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so there is a poll that I want to just go into and just close it off because actually it is quite tight, to be honest. 58%, 59, 60 almost saying, yeah, he deserves a second chance. I'm going to end this poll as well because we're going to move on to the show as well. And speaking about forgiveness, I keep joking because it's Friday. I said that Jadon Sancho went in here with this Spotify and put take that and say, but he's also played another song, which is Bryan Adams with that song, Please Forgive Me. I know, I don't know what I did. You know what I mean? But guys, speaking about that, let's talk about dust this one out. Greenwood, right? This is a story that won't go away. This is the divide of many opinions, but I want to put something on the stage that Mark shared with me today because we know that Manchester United wants 40 million, and for some reason they see him still as an asset. We know the story, but what is the truth? Nobody really knows. But I want to add this to prove to the point that this is a human at all, and this is M United girl that posted it. This human behind the face you will all vilified. Stop excusing and normalizing the daily harassment and cyberbullying of Mason Greenwood. Hope this video of Harriet shares some of you that you hate and hurting. So basically, this is a PR video from Harriet showing their life. Are you ready to watch this? Because I think you need to watch this, right? Given life is the biggest responsibility in the world. Well, I just want to say something before we continue. I know people have opinions, but at the end of the day, it's our duty on this channel to present two sides of the story without being subjective or objective. At the end of the day, it's you to decide. This is a human being. Everyone that's become a parent, including Phil, understands the burden of raising a child and see that daughter grow. And the alleged apparently is still with the partner and taking responsibility. And it's giving second chances. I want to hear from you guys, like just the short and sweet. That this was very emotional for me to see, right? Because I look at the human side of the values, like, and I don't understand why people are on this modern day society on internet going and pointing fingers. I believe in justice. That's who I am. I believe in there's a system, a court of law, right? You are not guilty until you're proven guilty in the court of law. But apparently in social media today, you're guilty no matter what, and that is something you can't get away. Quickly, I want to hear from you. I want to close this chapter on Greenwood because I'm thinking as Greenwood as a human being, as a football player, and the current situation, what he's going under, right? Phil, I want to hear from you first. You're a father.
I've never openly spoken up about this situation. I've always avoided it. Certainly, especially at the time. I find it very difficult because I am a father of a daughter who's 16. So it's if what happened as it appeared happened, then I think it's not about forgiveness because someone said a comment to the manager that didn't go on or whatever. This is about what is acceptable and what those around the club, whoever, are portraying is acceptable. And that's the difficulty with it. I was hoping that by now, we're talking a year later, there would have been some sort of statement, some sort of release, some sort of even a TV show, a panorama, something like that, something saying their side of the story.
But is there an obligation for them to say? I think that when I've been thinking about this.
Well, she put it out there in the first place, didn't she, Harriet? So because she's put it out there, it's up to her to take it back. She knows what it's done, the impact it's had on the family. Now, I'm not saying, and I don't honestly have an honest answer on this, did that really happen? Because it's easy for someone to create a fake visual, makeup, sound, piece it all together and make it look like something. We've seen all these memes going around about Gareth Southgate's, the AI Gareth Southgate's interview after the games. Hilarious, highly inappropriate, hilarious. But it just shows, and it's his voice, and how have they done it, I do not know. And I'm not saying it was an AI impersonation, but what I'm saying is things can be twisted and made to look like other things.
Yeah.
Why she would do it, immaturity, whatever reason, putting it out there in the first place. The sad thing is these sort of things happen every single day all over the world, and they're never heard of. And I say that in a way that is sad that people don't feel that they can speak out. That's the way I'm saying that approach. Whatever's happened here, people within United must know the truth. That's the thing. But the
question is, do they actually need to come out and say the truth? My take on is that my take on it, he's a very reserved guy. He's protecting her, right? He's protecting her. And it's interesting what you say with AI technology, because apparently they did an investigation. We only heard and seen 11 or 13 seconds, but there's more to it, which they did the investigation and they found there's nothing to it. What happened was that somebody released it to Athletic, and that was a shitstorm because they were supposed to release him to come back to Ten Hag so you can play him, right? And this is the implication that you get, and this has been 1 year in the making. Then keep in silence, and I agree what you're saying. So the power of this statement is what she just put out here in this video. That was a statement.
What about, like, see, my concern is a year later, you're looking at these other clubs who, you know, you're hearing that the reason that he's not gone to Marseille or Nice or where everyone else he's been linked to so far, because everywhere he gets connected to, the fans make such a furor around the situation, make such an uproar. We don't want him in our club. You know, the president of Marseille himself came out and said what people have read in the media this week about, I don't want that in the club sort of thing.
All right.
And so why have they not done anything to defend that? And it feels like the fact that this is still going on and those people are heavily involved with the purchase, that they would want to know the truth beforehand. The only person who has is Zirkzee, who's come around and said, whatever's happened off the pitch, it happens, and then when they're in the club, they're like my child, sort of thing.
There was the mayor that said politicized. He said basically it's a disgrace, and then doesn't want.
You know,
it's
an interesting situation because for me, he was 19 when this happened. That was like 3 years ago. You know, let's be honest about it. And while it's in a situation that is not something that we could condone in any way, shape, or form, just like you said earlier, you know, we don't know the exact issues of what happened. We don't know if it really was the way it was depicted on social media. We want to know the truth. Now, in one hand, I could understand the fans wanting to know the truth, and on the other hand, I could understand from a perspective of if I don't know, I could just say it like this: as a United fan watching Mason Greenwood over the years, he always strike me of a reserved kind of young man. He never seemed like he was into the flashy stuff. He was more kind of into himself, and you know, really kind of, he just looked like not into all that whole bling and shiny kind of up there kind of thing. He never struck me as a egotistical guy. Now, whatever happened, unless we know the truth. But what I could say is no one believes the actual truth, because if the club said they did an investigation that went on for 6 months, and they said that from the investigation, you know, he was cleared of what it was, you know, then, I mean, at some point, if someone says, well, that had to be fake, they're just saying that because they don't want his money and he's an asset, then, you know, it's like a round and round circle situation. So for me, I look at it like this: is either we gonna say we giving him a second chance and be done with it, or we not. And it's just as simple as that for me, because it's not like I could say anything bad about the guy, because I mean, I may have not done something of that ilk, but I'm 38 now. I've done a lot of weird shit as a young man, you know what I mean? May not have been on that level, but in totality, you know, wrong is wrong, you know what I mean? It don't make it right, no matter if it's lesser or greater. You can't really put a quantification on most of those things. So for me, it's like, is either the club make a decision to, you know, do it, because in all fairness, right, this is a young family that need protection at this point in time. From what that mayor said to me, I've been really honest, as a football fan, I think it was a little bit extreme, and it could incite some extremists to do some extreme things. I think that was uncalled for. Now, we could understand that it is a situation that if you hear about it as a parent, you're obviously going to feel a certain distaste for it. But at the same time, this is 3 years ago. A guy who was 19, he's now 22, and we're treating him like he's a career criminal, in my opinion. I think the way we view him right now is like he's a career criminal. This something happened week in, week out, every day. And that seems so far from the truth when you look at that video, because, you know, I saw it earlier on today, you know, and I was like, well, this had to be a total 180 from the depiction from the 13-second clip I saw, because that looks like a very happy young family. And I would say that, you know, in time heals all. You know what I mean? That's basically.
But you know, you don't know, because apparently audio was hacked from a phone, and there was, you know, you don't know how if it's been tampered or not. So we don't know at the end of the day. So I agree what Tommy Boyle is saying. They both made mistakes. And the thing is, like, you know, and as a disclaimer here for the viewers, under no shape or form do I endorse domestic violence or racism or anything. But what I do endorse is an open-ended opinions, right? Whatever your truth is, what you believe, it's up to you. But we got to have a balance. We got to be able to talk about it. And I look at from that side that everyone does mistakes, but however, it is so damning in today's society if somebody points the finger to say you're guilty, but you're not guilty, right? I know I've been personally accused for something that I had to battle, which I wasn't, so I can relate. I've gone through that process. This is a long story, but that was during the Me Too movement. I didn't do anything, so I had to fight, and I won that battle, to be honest. But there was a smear. But we sort of kind of got to move on and get to used to it, because I think that at the end of the day, if that review has been done already by the HR department, I'm sure that Brailsford and everyone has looked at it, and they said in a statement that said we will look at the personality in the player rather than the surroundings of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, to Jim, I would say it like this. As far as I'm concerned, based whatever my opinion is, as much as I would like to have him back, if Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Ineos team decide otherwise, I would think that's for the best. If they decide to bring him back, I would back it 100%. I think from what they have done so far since coming into the club, I would give them the opportunity to make whatever decision they want to make, because so far they've done everything they said they were going to do. And almost everything they've done is things that we've been clamoring for years as fans. They brought structure, amazing structure. They brought in a world talent scout, Christopher Vivell, that we never know we'd get. Dan Ashworth is here. Omar Berada starts tomorrow. It's like everything we could have ever wanted, we currently have. Now it's just for it to take root and sprout like a tree and grow and blossom. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the only thing I could say, whoever they decide, we had to back it as fans. I mean, there's always going to be something or some issue that will always have a certain distaste for some people. It might not be this issue this time. It might be another issue or something totally different. It would always have disgruntlement to some proportion, in my opinion. That's just how I feel.
True. I just started the poll because I want to move on from this story. It's been hanging around for over 1 year. So I started a poll, and it's up to you viewers to give your vote in. So get your vote in as well. It goes like, would you forgive Mason Greenwood and give him a second chance at United? You know what? The way I see it, I've been quite objective in this matter, balanced, right? I see it from a footballing side. I see what's best for the club. The way I see it right now, we are kind of looking to buy in Olise. We were looking, but at the end of the day, we kind of was a little bit where we could, because we kept holding on because he was such a great asset. We know how lethal he is, right? He proved that to be in Spain, like he did it in Spain, and he was very valued. So I'm thinking that it's not for us to decide, it's for the club to decide, right? So whatever they decide, I will back. That's simple as that, right? So if they decide to keep Greenwood, then they have to deal with the PR. They have to deal with the what do you call it? The explanation, the PR. But whatever they do, I will back, That's the way I
think
see it.
they'll let him go. I think based on the fact that they've come in with a clean slate, trying to get off to a fresh start, it's just going to tarnish all this great work they've done over the last 6 months with the improvements to Carrington that's going on, with the change in structure, with the change in management, with Van der Gaag, whatever his name is, leaving, with Rude coming in, with all these changes, everything's positive. Everything's like, wow, brilliant. All I've read on reports about Greenwood is wherever he goes, there's going to be a massive sell-on clause. You're talking 50% or whatever. And so, because we know the value of him, we know the ability he's got, and that's all we've said all along. If this was a player who was in the reserves, for example, and had a season in the first team, who was that kid with blonde hair who never quite made it under Ollie, striker, played centre forward. If it was him, for example, or someone who's not Chris Eagles or someone, someone who did okay for a little bit and had the moment, there wouldn't be the same clamour about it. It would have just been like, this, he's gone, move on, get on with the next person. But because of his value, because of what he can do, people are having and I say this respectfully to anybody, it is swaying an opinion because of what we know he can achieve.
But for me, it's been clear, Phil, that they wanted 40 million. If they don't gonna get him, they're gonna keep him. That's what I read, and that's why I see that they are talking to different clubs. They are getting bids, and there'll be multiple bids coming in from either Premier League clubs as well. They don't want to say who they are. But I wouldn't mind if we look at the current squad, we need squad depth, right? We need players. We want to win trophies, right? This is the new Manchester United. So, if he comes in all of a sudden, we forgive. And if he starts doing well on the pitch, which we should look at, not what they're doing off the pitch, but on the pitch, right? So this is the way I see it at the end of the day. Guys, we have to move on because I'm tired of talking, because if you can forgive Sancho, who did even something worse, who disrespected the manager and club and everything, if they can forgive and let him to train, why can't they do that for Greenwood? That's the question, what I'm asking as well. Ask us that question as well. Yeah. Big up Sandra Mayers as well.
Big up to you, Sandra Mayers coming in. Guys, let's shift the tempo. We've got so much to talk about as well. There's lots of things to get into as well. We still have a lot of players to talk about. The Ligt deal is coming. MUFC is very much pushing for that deal to be done. It's possible we could be hearing all terms agreed in the next couple hours. I don't know what your thoughts about this, Phil, but I am pretty happy and excited if we can get this deal over the line. I think the price is very good. And I think the player is quite talented and experienced in the role that we would want him to play, especially reuniting with Ten Hag.
I think he's just fantastic. I'm absolutely buzzing. When you think he's played with Zirkzee as well in the past, there is this bit of obviously Dutch coming into the, it's a standing joke. It won't be Manchester's red next season, it'll be Manchester's orange. But that the way it's going. But at the end of the day, when you see his ability, he's 24 years old. It just needs reviving. He needs someone to believe in him, and he knows what Ten Hag does for him. He's worked with him before. I think it is an absolute. I'm really, really excited about the opportunity of him coming along. No doubts whatsoever, he'll be fantastic. Him and Ligt together, and possibly Yoro.
Yeah.
And Dallo and Shaw, who's hopefully going to get a full season, and Malacia. We're building a squad with depth, with quality, with options. It's exciting, very, very exciting.
Pinch me. I mean, I'm saying pinch me, guys. We've been depressed for 11 years. All of a sudden we're acting like a football club, like a big club. All of a sudden, we're putting smart bids. We're putting football first. We're structuring the deals with Zirkzee, for instance. We paid a little bit extra to get favorable terms, so we can pay 12 million per year, right? And this is the way. So Bush, that's the registered 12 million. We're doing the same model with Bayern Munich as well. We're lowering down. We're paying 37 million, plus he takes a wage cut. He only wants to play for Manchester United. He's totally sold, right? So for me, that's a big bosh. Let's go into the transfer ratings, if you can do. So for me, this got to be more than 90%, right?
I would say about 90. There's always the weird stuff that could happen. He could come and fail his medical, but I won't put that energy out there. But I'll definitely say it's around 90% done. I think he's already agreed terms with the club. I think it's just based on the structure of how we're going to pay Bayern Munich as now, just like what we did with Bologna. We added 2 extra million to the deal, but it gave us favorable terms so that we could pay it over 3 years. I think this is exciting for one reason. If we had 150 million to spend after we do these 2 deals, we have 110 still in the coffers. You know what I'm saying? This is what's really amazing about these 2 deals that we're doing. You can see why we've been putting bids out from multiple players, because we have been doing it smartly. We've seen Chelsea do these sorts of things. We've seen Man City do these type of things, and now we're doing it. And, the funny thing is people are like, what are we really doing? We haven't signed anyone, but Arsenal has been linked with 5 or 6 players, and we have already signed one. They haven't signed anyone yet. You know what I mean? And, I'm kind of happy about that, because I would like us to do a hijack for Calafiori, because I think he would fit us really well. Phil, I don't know what you're thinking about that guy.
But we are hijacking. We are hijacking. Okay, I'm confident he's going to be a Manchester United player. That everything is pointing, medical, everything is aligned. They're just discussing the payment structure term. He's going to fly into Manchester. Might it be over the weekend? He also wants to go on holiday. They want to conduct this like Zirkzee did today. and I think it's going to be 100%. Maybe I'm getting too giddy, but like this got to be something weird happening if he fails his medical or breaks his legs. Yeah.
Nah, it's gonna,
guys,
to me, it's 100%.
100%. Yeah. Okay, let's put 100%. I am getting here. I'm putting 100%. Guys, get your votes in as well. There's 36 of you voting so far. More the merrier. We'll get 100 likes, please. We are 1,200 watching at the moment. Get those likes up going. Like, we are going to get greedy now. We want 800 likes at minimum. We're setting the target high. Standards are up, like Manchester United raising standards, and we're going to put 100% on Matthias de Ligt. And what you're saying here. What the hell? 63.8%. You still don't believe? My God. My God. I guess that people still have the PTSD, right?
Maybe so. I think a lot of fans are still considering the fact that how we did things in the past. But, you know, I and all would think like that. But from now, to be honest, with the arrival of all the people that came in for the structure, the new coaches that came in as well, I think that's surprising. Definitely was shocking in my opinion, and I feel like thinking about how we did things previously is a disingenuous thing as a United fan in this moment, because yeah, we've done that previously, but this is different. We're doing things hugely different right now. I've never seen us talk to 6-7 players at the same time and hash out deals for each one of them, agreeing personal terms with multiple players,
and going toe-to-toe with Real Madrid. Say, screw you guys, we are back.
You know, and even we are getting exits out the door. Like the first deal of the summer was an exit, guys. When has that happened before? The first deal was an exit, Donny van de Beek. You know what I mean? And that's a good deal because it could work out to 50 million euros quite easily. If Girona reaches the second round of the Champions League, that's 10 million euros. If Donny scores a certain amount of goals in the season, that's another 5 million euros. And it could even double if he gets sold to another team after a good performance. You never know. So let's take it as it's in stride, guys. You know, we could make some judgments in 2 weeks or 3 weeks when the window's almost halfway finished, and we see that we've gotten how many players. Like for now, it looks like we might be getting 2 or 3 more before preseason, but you never know. We could be getting 6 or 7.
Yeah. Pardon me for a second. I have a cat here in the room that's sneaking in. I gotta let him out. Hang on a second. Phil, take over.
Yeah, how are you doing? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think with the club is definitely moving different at the moment. You're seeing the thing is, you read stuff in the past and it's like you link with Osimhen and stuff like that, £100 million players. But now we're not. What we're getting at the moment, we're being linked with players who are quality players who other teams want, but actually they only want us, and that is the big difference that we're seeing. I think with this Yoro situation, I think at the end of the day, if he thought he was already going to Real Madrid, it is then, and if people are saying if you don't want us, that's fine, off you go, sort of thing. We're not bothered. But actually, I've got a slightly different opinion on this. If his mind was already set on Real Madrid, it's up to us to say, look, this is what we can offer you as an alternative. So he's got to change his mindset from going, I was going to Real Madrid, now I'm going to United. Still a fantastic, amazing club. Not in the Champions League, so he was thinking he's going to be playing Champions League next season, so he's got to give that up. So there is a lot to consider. So I get that, but this isn't going to go on for weeks. Our management are acting differently.
No.
They're not going to let it be like a Frankie de Jong or going. No, you go back as far as Marouane Fellaini. We paid over what the release clause was for Marouane Fellaini because Moisey didn't pull the. Even though he couldn't decide he wanted him, flirting with Fabregas and Ronaldo and everybody else and Toni Kroos at the time, they're the players we let go and ended up with Fellaini. That's not happening this time.
But one thing that we keep forgetting, that we are not the old Manchester United. We are a full-fledged team now with Omar Berada starting tomorrow. He's been heavily involved, 100%. Jean-Claude Blanc, the French connection. Everyone knows who Jean-Claude Blanc is. We even have Vivel in as well, which is going to talk about what that means in terms of Xhavi Simons as well. But the thing is, what they have gone gutsy, they wouldn't go in and put 50 million bid for the brilliant centre-back of Lenny Yoro without even speaking to his agent entourage to understand that it is an interest, right? And what we've been saying, I said it yesterday as well. I was the first one to come out to say that, I did a video regarding this and everyone did it today. And I said, look, what I've been hearing is that his head has been turned. Like, it's all about your development, right? It's all about you're 18 years of age, right? You're still young, you're still getting consulted by your parents, and you have good agent that will consult you as well to say, look, yes, Real Madrid is a shiny thing, but they always do this. Like, you look at Chouameni, you look at Camavinga. It took them 2-3 years, and they're not regulars. Like, you want to go there and sit on the bench, here you go, son. But they are being kind of a little bit sneaky to say, like, well, we are still the number one. Like, we are the kings. We are Real Madrid. This is our terms. And they had conversations with them, right? And they said 17 million, but we cannot pay you more. And why? Because they are risking the FFP implication. They cannot do this deal over the season. And that's why Manchester United swooped in and killed it to say 50 million. Here we go. Lenny, you're going to be part of our team. You're going to develop. We're going to play you. Look at our academy. Look, we're bringing in youngsters. They turned him around, to be honest. And he didn't dismiss it, right? He didn't dismiss it. So now conversations had held. They're desperately trying to talk to him to say, this is still the terms. We will come to you at the end of the window to see if you're still available. But if not, run down your contract, come for free. And this is not the way it's going to work, right? Manchester United mean business. And they wouldn't do that if they didn't feel that they had a chance, to be honest. So I think, in my humble opinion, my understanding is that he will become a Manchester United player. He will sign potentially a release clause in that contract. And within 4 years, 5 years down the track, he will still be 24 years of age, and he can go to Manchester United, and there will be a massive fee for us. We are not a feeder club, but we are starting to become a feeder club. We can sell him on, right? So I think for his development, if you look at, for instance, the way Erling Haaland chose, like, he went to a club when he developed before he made his big move. And this kind of can be a trajectory for Lenny as well. So I feel, this is my personal opinion though, I feel that he will choose Manchester United over player development, over minutes, over being a first team starter, rather than sit on the bench in Real Madrid and have that on his CV. There's so many players that gone missing, that they swooped on, that never sort of saw the daylight, like, they've been sitting in the dugout, right? What do you think, guys?
Let's take this one. I'll probably give a little bit at the end.
Okay. All right. Anyway,
do you mean me, sorry, Mark?
Yeah. I was saying you could go ahead first and give your opinion on Yoro, because I'm pretty much sold on him. I'm only a little bit skeptical on the fact on what his decision might be, although I think it's a lot possible more so before now, especially since he didn't actually out and out refuse the second deal, the deal that was accepted. It's still in front of him, means that he's considering it, and for me that's a 50-50 possibility that we could get him.
But the fact that he didn't renew his contract, that means he wants to move, right? The fact is that, I did a report yesterday to say that the Real Madrid are looking at alternatives because they know they're going to lose. So they're lining up alternatives for him because they're not going to come in with 50 million, right? So his head has been swayed. Based on the project, he's looking at Manchester United. It's got a big pull as well. This is the second biggest club in the world almost, right? The crowd, the fan base, he's going to be loved rather than sit on the bench and be forgotten and wasted 2 years on his time sitting on the bench, right? So based on that, I believe that is now going up to 70%, according to my opinion.
One thing that I do like is that, the reports that are coming out is that Ten Hag is speaking to the players, the players he wants. It's not a case of, well, that's not my job. Somebody else can do that. This is what Fergie used to do. He used to invite people to his house and say, come here and have a chat. I watched an interview the other week. I can't remember. It was one of the players who it might have even been Rude. Who was it? It might have been Rude. Just got a phone call saying, can you just come down to Cheshire now? And he was like, right, yeah, I'm on my way, sort of thing. And he just went, and it was like, we want you at our club. And that is the way we're acting now. It's not a case of it's all getting done behind the scenes, and we've seen you on a bit of YouTube. We've seen a few clips of you. We've seen you quite good. We've sent a scout to say, to think, yeah, he's all right, sort of thing you might do. This is the manager being involved, saying, I want you as part of this future. We're building something big. We're building something new. I know that Ronaldo came out and said all that, and I still don't like the way he did it, and he will always, eventually I will forgive him, but not that he cares. But but the fact that that we are supposed to be building some of the best resources in world football is another selling part to show that we are making a difference, because we have been the laughingstock with the waterfalls down Old Trafford and the state of Carrington, and it's people are joking saying it's, you know, Rude's come back and he's probably seeing the same kettle and toaster. I've seen all those sort of jokes but it's real. Things haven't changed, and things are now starting to change. And now we're not just saying this is United. Look at the history. This is the history. You can be part of the future.
100%, 100%. The thing is, Phil, stay there with me. It's like you have 2 job offers, right? It's all about who likes me most. What value am I going to get through choosing you? This is going to be the job and football is a job, right? So let's say if Manchester United come to you and Real Madrid comes to you with different offers to say, we fancy you, Phil, but yeah, not for this salary. Yeah, we might keep you string along. Like we give you an answer within the 4 weeks from now, or perhaps we will make a decision next year, right? But Manchester United coming in serious and showing we want you, Phil. You're going to be a major part of our team, our project. You know, you're going to do X, Y, Z, and you're going to develop so much more. Of course, what would you do, Phil?
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, this kid is 18 years old. Yeah. He's not 25, 26, making his last move of his career. It might be the last move of his career. It might be the greatest one. He stays there forever. But at the end of the day, he's a young kid who's got his whole future ahead of him, and he's just got to have the right sort of. I think if the right people speak to him and sell him the project. Absolutely, you know, I fully understand your analogy of like if somebody offered me a job and we might be able to make you this promise for next year. Hopefully, we'll be able to carry out with it. There's nothing on paper. They can't a full pre-agreement for a year. They can't do that. No. So it's only we promise we'll have you. But what if some other kid becomes much more valuable and better, and they want him instead in a year's time? They're not saying we'll have you in. We'll just get a bit cheaper, or we'll have you a bit now. It's like they're saying we'll have you in a year's time. We're saying we want you now to be part of this. We know you're 18, but we know what you can do, and you can be a massive part. The only thing I didn't like, I read in the media about somebody said he's only wants to come if he's guaranteed football. You don't get guaranteed football at any age. No, you've got to fight for your place. If you do that, there's no point coming to the.
No, he knows he's going to get football, and we're selling in the project. But please, guys, I'm going to have my final say on this one. But please, we're going to pull the trigger on that one. Please get your votes in. What percentage chance do you think that Lenny Yoro will sign for Manchester United? Look, at the end of the day, I said it before, and I will say it again, and I will zoom in on myself while I'm saying and looking you in the eyes to say, look. At the end of the day, like it's the analogy of you dreaming of working for Apple, right? You're a big Apple user. You love Apple. You grew up with Apple phones. You're not a Samsung user, Android user. But in order to get to your dream job, it's a transition, right? Omar Berada didn't become a CEO. He wasn't born a CEO. He was a chief operating officer, then got upgraded to ace CEO. So there's levels of steps. Like that means that you got to get experience, right? You got to look at development. So I started with Samsung. I worked 4 years there, and then I'm going to Real Madrid. Doesn't mean that the dream is over. Doesn't mean that once you get committed to a job, you become the brand. You be part of the culture. You learn to love that job, right? If the environment is good, if you've been treated right, if you develop, you become a superstar, then the world is your oyster at the end of the day. Then who's to say that at the end of your career or twilight of your career, 25, 26, when you get to the pomp, you can go to Real Madrid, no problem, son. But in the meantime, a lot of things could happen during the time, right? You might have won Champions League, you might have won the league, you're happy where you are, you settle. There's no guarantees. But one thing that's for sure, if you come to Manchester United, you will be loved and you will get minutes, you will get starting minutes, Phil.
Absolutely. And the thing is, what we've seen in the last year, I know that there was a lot said about the fact that we didn't get Frenkie de Jong, but you've read it in the media this week, all the posts about the fact that we didn't get de Jong and we created Manu, and look at what we've got. And what we've shown is that we can develop talent. Ten Hag, whether the talent's got to be there in the first place, but he gives it a chance. He's developing it. We've seen, you've seen him with Garnacho, with Manu, and then he's been pictured with. He insisted on being with I forgot the kid's name who signed his contract this week. He insisted on being on a picture with him because he's like, I'm interested. I think the youth's a really big part of the club as well. It's not just the superstars who are already here. This is the future, and I'm right behind it, sort of thing. So I think, you know, Yoro and stuff like that, we'll see all those kind of things. I think, yeah. And when Garnacho signed his contract last season, you know, there was a big video release, and he had his family around and everything. This is what I like about Ten Hag. He really fits the ethos of the club, and I think that, you know, if you can sell that to the likes of Yoro and the other younger kids or players, younger men who are joining the team, they're all believing in what is around them and what's available as a family.
Yeah, 100%, guys. Listen, I just want to sort of remind you, just pull the trigger on Lenny Yoro right now before we vote, because we have some exciting news to break to you guys. We have 20 gifted memberships coming in here, right now. Let's go. Oh my God. And Rushmano is coming in here with 20 memberships. Big up, Rushmano. Always. We're going to shout you out. Welcome to the family, people. Let's see who became a member. Let's go into the chat. We have not neglected you. It's just a sort of a conversation that we're having at the moment. Bacon Butty, Sam became a member. KD as well, legend. C3PO, Joey75. And who else became a member? Let's see. Scotty at the wheel. Big up.
Jody Sports. Jizman85, Corbina Quateng, Ronald Jacob,
Go ahead, man.
Genghis Khan Jr., Pete Red, Farnod SB, Colin Park, Gaz Taylor, Nick S, Shabazz Kera, Scotty's at the wheel, Rebbe Bakir, Joey75, C3PO, KD, Sam, and Bacon Butty were all given memberships. Big up to you guys. Don't forget to tell Rushmano, thank you so much. The legend. Big up to you, bro.
And what we say, welcome to the family. Welcome to MUC Realist TV. The best real MUFC channel, I think I would say. You know, we speak facts. Like, we don't do sensational stuff. We look at two sides of the story. Everyone's opinions are welcome. So big up. And keep subscribing, guys. Keep liking. Apparently, what I can see here, guys, there is 1,671 watching live at the moment, and 98 likes. What are you waiting for? It's free. It's free, guys. Okay, let's go into pull the trigger here. Let's see. Thank you, Rushmano, first and foremost. Thank you so much for your contribution. Love you, brother, for everything that you do for the channel. Guys, I want to hear from you from the panel. What do you reckon, Lenny Yoro? 50-50 still?
50. I would still say 50-50 because I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to go too positive and he make a different decision. But I think it's one of those decisions that it's easy for him to make. Join United, play for a few years, rise his stock, move to Real Madrid if he so choose, and finish off his dream. But you know what? It's up to him to make that decision.
Phil, what do you reckon?
Mute.
You're on mute. You're on mute, buddy.
I'd love to see him at the club. I think at the moment, it's got to be 50-50 at the moment. And because there is literally a 50-50 offer on the table to him, in my opinion anyway. I think ultimately his mind will be swayed because, you know, the club he's at the moment is kind of, I won't say he's burnt his bridges, but some of the fans, you know, he's already made it clear he wants to leave. And the club will want to get some money for him, so they'll be pushing for it as well. So you could maybe say 55-60, but I wouldn't at this moment.
Well, okay. Based on the reports and based on what I'm being hearing, I think it's more than 50%, guys. I hope it is. I will stick my neck out. And I will actually increase it. I will actually say 60% now. Before it was 50%, but the way we're hearing things are moving on the market, I think it's a 60%, guys. I'm going to pull 60%, but at the end of the day, what matters is what you're voting as well. So, shall we do 60, guys?
Yeah, I go 60.
Yeah, you could do 60.
Okay, 60. Boom. 60%. No, you guys are still thinking of 32.64%. What's going on here? Is it still the Manchester United PTSD? Guys, let's continue. Jaron Brentwood. Apparently, we're going to go in for 3 centre backs. Apparently, United's going to come in with a third bid as well. What do you reckon? Are we seriously in for Brentford? I think we are doing a madness. We are going for 3 centre backs.
I think so.
I think so.
I think when you think we've lost Varane, Lindelof's going, Maguire's not gone and still back at the moment. But I think if you look at the opportunity to get such a quality player, and I think actually strengthens our hand if we already have Ligt and the likes of Yoro, because we don't need Branthwaite, we just want him, sort of thing. And so, you know, at the end of the day, Everton thinking that because in the past we other teams will be able to push their price up because that's our only option. We're not there right now. We're not playing that game anymore. We've got other options, and we're making it very clear we've got other options. So if nobody else is interested in Branthwaite, and there's no other rumours of that at this moment, then Everton are eventually going to have to come to some sort of agreement which meets our expectations around about the 50, 58 marks.
Just want to say big up for the person that was here before, first time on your channel. Welcome, sir, and keep coming back. You believe that the Ligt will be 99%. I 100% believe with you. I believe certainly that United are doing something smart here. You know, they are doing the grinding game. They have identified him as the left-footed centre back. You know, they will play the understudy for Ligt, right? They're willing to. Yeah, they said this is our terms, right? You take it or leave it, right? And I think at the end of the day, like, you know, he's forcing the move out himself, and I think the third bid will be accepted. I think we're going in for 3 centre backs. What we're doing right now, we are bidding for we're getting the players first, and then we're shipping up players. I think that Maguire will be out of the door. Hallelujah. Lindelof will be out of the door. We already lost Rafael Varane. So I think that Brentford will become a Manchester United player at the end of the window. That's what I believe. I believe that they will put in something around 55 million plus 5 add-ons.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
I mean, I like his profile. I'll be honest and say that. But I have a few reservations about him as a player. I think one, I don't think paying anything more than 45 million is tenable for me. I believe that's bending ourselves over and taking it up the rear. I think that's a madness. I'm not saying he doesn't have a high ceiling and possible potential to be a very good centre back, but it's too soon for me to spend anywhere in that region for him. He's not proved enough for me to say that he's worth that. I think he had an okay season this season, to be honest. And last season he was at PSV and everyone says he did amazing. But if he was at PSV and was amazing, Van Nistelrooy would have signed him for 12 million euros. So my honest opinion is that, yeah, we might go in for a third bid, but I actually hope that, you know, we probably look at Calafiori as the third option.
Okay.
Cheaper.
We see. Big up for people who are tuning in, please. We are over 100. Can we get 100 more without being greedy, please? It's Friday after all. Okay, so what do you reckon on a Hotometer scale? Like, what are you going to give this rating? Apparently last time was on 34%, but I think that stakes has gone up a little bit. I think it's going up to 50.
Balance for me, I would say 60%. If we're going in with a third bid, I don't think we will fail with a third bid. That's just my honest opinion. I don't think a third bid would fail.
Standish, you're on mute. As per usual.
I agree. I think at the end, I was having a drink and I didn't want everyone to hear me drinking, so I put it on mute. I think at the end of the day, as Mark says, if we're going in with a third bid, we're serious about this. So it's not like just kind of a rumor. We have already gone in with 2 bids already. So I think to go in with a third, I think it's much higher than 50%. I think the next week's going to be quite telling. Obviously, when we see Ligt come in and once Yoro makes his decision, but I think with Branthwaite, I just think it's going to happen at some point before the end of this window. The fact that nobody else is linked as well. The fact that
I believe so too. It's something that won't go away. Manchester United really want him. They identify him as the personal terms first agreed out of all these players, but it's just been playing hardball with the Everton at the end of the day. Guys, I think it's going to happen at the end of the window. I think we're going to get 3 centre-backs in, but at the moment, I would say 50%. I will raise the bar because 34%, 31%. So let's be sensible. Let's put 50% there because it's still a chance he will not become a United player. Yeah, okay, all right, fine. 50 I pull. Let's see what everyone is saying. 32%. people still don't believe. I believe so. Todibo, we can just put in the bin, right, Mark?
I mean, I think that's pretty much untenable for now. Might be revisitable in January when Nice get knocked out of the Europa League. You never know.
He's going to Juventus, isn't he?
He's going to Juventus, apparently. Yeah.
Apparently, but I think they have to pay a little bit above the odds for him to go to Juventus, and Juventus is having problems with their finances at the moment. So,
okay,
it's up in the air.
Okay, I pull 10 at the moment because now he's not part of the centre back pairing, but potentially we can come in for him in December, January window. So I put 10 now for now, and we move on. We move on because we got so much things to talk about. The Ligt, according to my opinion, will be a done deal very, very soon. Lenny Yoro, we pulled on 60%. Now we're coming into the left back situation, Mark, and this is what we're going to talk about. Milos Kerkez is one of them. We have also the new Ferdi, Kadigilio, what you mentioned, and we also have Gutierrez. Who do you think will be? Apparently, we are going in for this Turkish Holland-born Ferdi Kadigilio.
Well, it's going to be interesting. We just did a deal with Girona, as I was speaking about earlier, for Donny van der Beek. I think that opens up the network for conversation for a possible second deal. And we know that the scouting staff has been reported to be very, very highly interested in bringing in Miguel Gutierrez to United. We know Ten Hag has been said to be a little bit obsessed with the player as well. So it's going to be interesting what we do there, because as you could see, United announced earlier on this season, in the few weeks before the window began, that they would probably invest 20 or so million pounds into a left back. And the funny thing is, this guy, just like Ferdi Kadigilio, has a 25 million release clause. So it's very much easy for us to do these deals. Kadigilio doesn't have a release clause, but the club is expecting somewhere in the region of 20 to 25 million pounds for him. And it's very interesting because both players would not mind a move to a bigger club. Real Madrid doesn't want to re-sign the option for Miguel Gutierrez for 8 million euros, so he's up in the air. His release clause is available, and Man United are doing good business. Maybe we're waiting for a sale of one or two players to move out the door again before we make some additional business done. So look out for those.
You mentioned a good point, because if you look at the common denominator here is that we are going for players with release clauses. It's sort of, we're doing smart business. Milos Kerkez has a value on 16.9 million, but doesn't have a release clause, and Bournemouth is playing like, we want 40 million. So I think that is not, it's out of the water. I think it's between either Kadigilio or I think it would be between Gutierrez, right? Phil, what are you thinking? Mute.
Yeah. The thing is, obviously, it's one of those where you come out the Euros and everybody's linked to those players who's shown, sort of thing. So, I believe that we are linked to him from what I've been reading. I've heard the Gutierrez, I think mainly from yourself. I've not heard much about it, but you seem to know more about that one. Kerkez, we've been linked for quite a while, but it's gone a bit quiet. And obviously, this guy from Turkey. They're all great options. They're all great options. The fact that Malassi is not back in training after a year is at the moment is ironically is a bigger concern than Luke Shaw. So we've got to be looking at something. But yeah, I think at this moment we just need to. I think any of them will make a difference to the club. What we've seen, with Luke Shaw in the last 30 minutes he played for England, we know what he does, where he drives forward and he does the overlap runs. They were playing England at one point, were playing like two at the back, and he was like a left winger, never mind a left back. So we know what he brings, and we value that from Shaw. So we're looking for a player who plays in that sort of style, and I did see that from Kerkez in the Euros. I've not seen much of him beforehand, or the Turkish guy, so I wouldn't want to say I'm this master on them or anything. It's just little bits that I've seen, little snippets.
Okay, cool.
Unfortunately, I do apologise. I need to go, mate. I'm going to go and pick my daughter up.
No worries.
It's been a pleasure being back on the show and chatting with you guys. Really missed it, and I'll try to get on more often, but it's been fantastic. Thank you. Thanks to everybody in the panel. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for all your questions. Enjoy the rest of your show. And
thank you, Phil. You're a legend. It's been a hot minute, mate. We just started a poll in your honor, who do you think will be the left back? Will it be Gutierrez or will it be Kadigilio? Phil, you have to find out after the show, but Brother, so good to see you. Say hello to your
Good
lovely
night.
family.
See you soon.
And thank
Have a
you.
good night, bro.
Bye.
See you, brother. Okay, thank you, Phil Standish. It's been a hot minute, and it's down to you and me, Mark. We are solo. We are back. We are back. Guys, get your votes in. What do you think? Kadigilio, he's new on the cards, by the way.
Yeah, he is new on the cards. And the interesting thing about him is that, you know, I'm not going to say I watch the Turkish league a lot, but, you know, I'm not a stat man either. But since they're the stat man as well in the community, I will say this much. He has one of the highest rating in his stats in all of the defenders in Turkey at this current time. Not just that, but in the Euros, he's one of the biggest, the most tacklers in the Euros. He's tied for second with 15 tackles so far, and they were knocked out in the quarterfinals. It's also interesting to be noted that he's very good at intercepting the ball, and he's very good at winning duels on the ground, as well as progressing the ball forward. He also contributes with assists because he bombs forward as well. He's very energetic, has a very good engine. Very much similar to Milos Kerkez, but, you know, the problem is the price on Kerkez. I think he might be the more attractive option because he's 22 or 21 or something like that, and he's pretty much the same thing that Kadigilio offers. I think the problem there is the price. You know, Gutierrez is going to be super interesting for me because, you know, it's a deal that we can do easily, very quickly. Release clause, boom, bomb, bash. I think he would like the move. I think he would be interested in it. He already knows he has no chance at Madrid. And terms and agreements will be easy between the player and the club. So it's going to be interesting.
Do you see how this is shaping? This is very interesting to see who we're linked with and how we're going to play. For me, it tells me we're going to start playing with 3 in the back, and we will have wing backs bombing forward, right? But another one that has the power, he comes in and out, but we have a surprise coming in, a face that we haven't seen for a while. He just came in. I saw him peeking in.
I was just about to bring him on. Superstar,
yeah, anyway.
Where'd you go, bro?
He's coming. But guys, you know, the one that got the power is still here. He's coming up again. We have a surprise visitor knocking on the door. And where is he?
He's adjusting himself.
He's adjusting to himself. That was not Kadigilio, if you might say
That's
so.
not Kadigilio.
Anyway, we give him another chance, guys. We give him another chance. What would you say is percentage chance that we actually sign Kadigilio? Because for me, it looks like we're looking at a type of profile that can bomb forward. Is very good on defensively and going forward. So Kadigilio is one of them, and I'm mad about Gutierrez myself. This is deals that we can do because both have a similar price, release clause. We can bring back Sposh, what you say.
I would say a 70% chance because, as you know, we are already in talks with Fenerbahce for 2 possible players to be transferred to them. That's the club that he's at.
70?
Yeah, 70%. We're gonna be in talks with the club, Mick.
Did somebody fart in the locker room? 70%. You mad?
I mean, think about it from this perspective, Mick. There's interest for Christian Eriksen from Fenerbahce. We've sold Fenerbahce Fred. They have interest in getting another player from our ranks as well in Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who is also linked to Galatasaray. So I'm just saying there's talks to be had. It might be very interesting. And the funny thing is that we already have negotiations for other things happening. These 2 clubs make this left-back signing pretty interesting. Gutierrez on one side, we just did a deal with Girona, and there's interest from Fenerbahce in our players.
I think Mark is full of copium, dopium, whatever you call it. Whatever you smoking, Mark, on the positivities, pass it on to the VR room, guys. To be honest, listen, we got to also not forget that we do have the young Harayamas that will be integrated in the squad as well. So we will looking at to bring in Harayamas into that as well. But look, we are moving places. I wouldn't say right now, this is new on the cards. I would say 50% at the moment, Mark. 50, I would say. Can we agree on 50?
I feel this is what I keep saying. I think it's a much higher chance than 50 because we need a left back. I know Phil was just talking about Luke Shaw, but there's some developments around Luke Shaw after his assessment, not only while in England. But you know what I'm thinking? Think about this perspective, right? There's been some reports that the injury that Luke Shaw had that kept him out of play last season was something to do with stage 3 muscle atrophy. Now, the interesting part about that is that while Shaw would probably be certainly fit to give us 50 to 60 minutes in 2 or 3 games a week, he cannot play for 90 minutes.
And Malacia seems to be still hovering on crutches, so that's nothing to.
Well,
dude, that dude is. I think he's gone. His injury.
He just had another surgery. As per some reports, I know one of the guys in the chat. He's from Holland. He was talking about Malacia had a surgery in Holland recently. You know, he's suffering with a little bit of mental depression at the moment as well. I think it's a very difficult situation for Malacia. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. I mean, in a way, United is at fault. We botched 2 surgeries for the guy, and that probably also made an impact on him.
I feel sorry for Malacia, seriously, like, you know. But at the end of the day, we got him on a cheap. I think we paid 70 million for him. So it's I don't know. Obviously, we cannot go into the season without having a left back. We can't. And Brendan is saying here, dude, that played in Turkish league. He's the same level. Is that the same level as Premier League? Dude, this guy is Dutch. Again, Dutch connection.
He's Dutch, right? But, you know, like Brendan, I understand he's played in the Turkish league. I understand. I'm not saying that he's going to be amazing. What I'm saying is that he fits the profile of what we want to do. He fits the profile of what we want to do. You know what I mean? So in a sense, like, it's not a bad opportunity to try. He's young. He's 24 years old. You know, obviously we've seen him perform against some of the best teams in the Euros. And while it might not be the best situation to scout a player from international duty, you can also see a bit about a player. And he's played against some of the top teams in the competition. He played against France. He played against, you know, the Netherlands as well, I think, if I could remember clearly. So they had a few good games against a few good teams, in my opinion. So it may be interesting.
Yep. Just for your information, there's 2,148 watching on all platforms, and we have 123 likes. Guys, can we get Giddy to say, can we have 1,000 likes, please?
Well, I mean, if we could get to 500, guys, that would be amazing. I mean, every like helps the channel grow, guys. It takes the channel to the next viewer. It helps us immensely. I mean, it's free. I know it might be a little difficult because you might be listening with your AirPods and the phone might be out of reach, or you might be a little, you know, you're not sure if you like the show, but it's just so easy, guys, and it's free. Just smash the likes for us. Help us grow, you know.
Listen, if you do smash the like, you know, the copium levels of Mark will go up. He will be smoking more stuff and telling you more frog stories at the end of the day. But we got to pull the trigger on Kadigilio. And I give you the honor, Mark. I have to give you the roses. What do you reckon? You saying 50%, or are you still on that 70, 60? Come on, man, be realistic.
I'm on the 60% train right now with these two guys, because I feel like, you know, you see, the thing is that this new structure we have, the way they work is a similar way to how City works. You know, they make negotiations with clubs that they have their deals to be done. They're easy deals for us to do for players that we need. You know what I mean? And I'm just looking at it interestingly that the price range matches the price we were willing to spend on a left back before the window.
Okay. Get on to it. Give us a vote, please, then. 60%.
Yes.
Do I give in? 60%. Damn, you're a hard person. Are you sure you're not working for Indians? Okay, 60%. Come on. 60. You lost. You lost a bid 40%. Mark is in the mud. Mark is in the mud.
That's not good. Maybe I might prove them wrong. Yo, I see some superstars coming through.
We have more superstars coming in. Inacho, should we just give him a 10 at the moment? Just move on with this show as well. 10 for me for Inacho. We got to give a voting on. Who else did we get? Kerkez, we voted on already. Gutierrez is another one we're going to put a trigger on. There's still a 50-50. But if you give 60% for the other one, it has to be 60 to Gutierrez as well.
I think it would be more, but, you know, maybe we can get an alternate opinion on this guy right here, because I feel like my buddy coming in here is going to have some interesting things to say about this left back player.
We have another. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, we have another surprise guest coming in, which you haven't seen for a while. We're talking about the one and only Coach O.
Big up, bro. What's good?
Brother, I haven't seen you for ages. Have you been sleeping under the rock? What's going on? What's calculating?
Man, I've been ultra busy, yo. I've gone. Well, it feels like every time I come to this show, I've got a new kid. I've got another kid again, man. So,
what are you like, Phil Foden? You're making kids? for living.
He reminds me of Aussie Down Under, bro. This guy.
Yeah, I'm two up now. So
Two up.
My life has been, dominated again. But I'm back now.
You're back.
I'm back, and I'm here.
What's the secret? What's the secret?
We've got new owners. And we're all smiling, which is beautiful. Look at those two beautiful smiles we have on the screen right there. This is good vibes, man. So I'm here.
Look at this, good vibes.
Good vibes. What are your thoughts, Kojo? There's some interesting developments going on. We're linked on a few left backs. I'm thinking that it's highly likely we sign one of them. Okay. I think the price is decent. Both of them around 25 million pounds. One is a release clause. One is what the club will probably expect to release the player. One is from Turkey, which is the one who doesn't have the release clause. This is Ferdi Kadigilio. He played for Turkey he also played for Fenerbahce. And the other one is Miguel Gutierrez. And there have been reports that the scouting department, they like him. Ten Hag is a bit obsessed with him as well. And Real Madrid doesn't want to buy him back for the 8 million. So what are your thoughts?
You know what? I was thinking about Gutierrez because he had a really good year last year for Girona.
Yes.
So
now you're singing. Where have you been?
So I was thinking about him, but I didn't know if we would be looking at him because
we are looking at him.
That's fantastic because as much as I think I still have faith in Shaw, I don't know where the hell Malacia is. So we need somebody. He's gone. Okay, fair.
He's gone. He's got another surgery. He's gone.
Ah, man.
I think this is a career ender for him, which is sad, right? Luke Shaw is going to be part of the Paralympics as well. I think so. Anyway, guys, Kojo, Gutierrez to Manchester United, 12.5 million release clause, done deal.
I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'd pay that. Or if you want to be, if the club want to do what they did with Zirkzee, which I do like, over 3 years, just pay a little bit over, but structure it nicely. So we got a bit more money spent. It's not a bad deal.
Oh, no, we're talking. Everyone is educated.
Yeah, absolutely. And as for Ferdi, how do you say his last name? I don't know.
Kadigilio.
All right, Kadigilio. He impressed me. I've not seen enough of him in terms of his whole career, but he's impressed me in the Euros. He's good. So that's not a bad option either. Isn't this nice? We've scouted two really good left backs, and they're quite exciting to see that.
Are we acting like a big club? I mean, what's going on here?
I'm shocked. I'm utter shock. All we needed was the Glazers just get rid of sporting control. That's what we needed. It's beautiful.
That's all we needed. All right, Kojo, think about it because we have 5 gifted memberships coming in from Jonathan Liljenberg. Big up Jonathan Liljenberg. And Mark, do you have the honors to read out who became members?
Sure. Geoff Hughes was given a membership. Alien Tenno, you lucky bastard, you got a membership as well. Amin Anthony, big up to you. Gaming Simp, Gerber, the legend. And of course, Isaac Madu was also given a membership. Big up to you guys. Welcome to the MUFC Realist family, guys. Make sure to thank Jonathan for that. He's a top lad. Big up to you, Jonathan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. And so it's not a nothing burger. We are linked to him. Apparently, I've been talking about this deal for quite a while, Kadigilio. But this Kadigilio, no, this is the new one that just came up. But I've been talking about Gutierrez for quite a while, and this is a deal that could be done. Shit, we have another celebrity just pulled in. We're getting hijacked left, right, center. What's going on here, people? We have Football Power Hour coming in as well. All right, so let's pull the trigger on Miguel Gutierrez. What do you think? I give you the honors, Kojo.
Pull the trigger.
Pull the trigger on what? 50%.
Can't see. Sorry.
Is it 50%, 60%?
I'll say 70.
Oh shit! Whatever you're smoking.
Top lad. I agree.
Guys, have you been sharing the same? Have you been sharing the same pipe? What's going on here? You and Mark. All right. You got the honors. You say 70%. Guys, let's see what you guys have been voting as well. 70%. Let's move on. Damn. 36.2%. Guys, you're in the mud. Football Power Hour, you're in the house. Oh, we have celebrities.
Happy.
I'm here. I'm driving, so I just wanted to just say big shout out to you guys. I'm watching the show or listening to the show, and also it's happy birthday week to Xhavi.
It is happy birthday
also
to Xhavi. And also Shay as well.
and Shay's birthday today. So so yes, celebrating people being like, the mood is up. I'm glad Ineos is moving. I'm glad we're making. Guys, I gotta tell you really quickly about this left back that plays for Turkey. That I'm just starting to love his profile. The more and more I look at him, his name I think is Kadigilio.
We've spoken about him right now. Yeah.
That I'm just finding out about this kid, and he's so good. He's the Swiss knife. That the most versatile player that I've probably come across in recent memory. So I think we should look at him. I was amazed that he can play like second striker. He can play, guys. He's incredible. Anyway, big up.
So you take him in the Poppy. Okay, big up, Poppy. Big up. We already voted on him, by the way. To be honest, before you get in.
The show at that moment.
Yeah. We gave him 60%.
Poppy, I made sure we got a 60% on the possibility.
All right. Listen, another one that's going out the door is apparently Aaron Wan-Bissaka, guys. West Ham is coming in for him. There's multiple clubs. We know that Fenerbahce was sniffing around as well. Could there be a swap deal, by the way? If we take Kadigilio and we give them Wan-Bissaka, of course, Mourinho is quite upset, and he's obsessed about getting it. Yeah. Can you see that as swap deal? Cash.
It could be interesting because I know they want Victor Lindelof over there at Fenerbahce, and they've been talking to him. He's, you know what I mean? So it might be interesting to see what they do. And hey, if Lindelof is going and we get Kadigilio in exchange and maybe 5 million, or we pay 5 million on top of Lindelof, I think that's a good deal. 100%.
All right. Because if we get rid of him, that means that Jeremy Frimpong, which is still on the cards, he's got 10 days left on his release clause, guys. Yeah. And this deal is all depending on what happened with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So do you reckon we will chip off Wan-Bissaka within 10 days and get a Frimpong? What do you reckon?
That might be interesting. There's some reports about another center back. I forgot to tell you guys about this name. This guy's name is Hanko. It's Hanko.
We're not even into.
He plays for Slovenia, right? And there's some reports that United have been in contact with his entourage, and it might be interesting. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Frimpong, what do you reckon, guys? What would you still? I mean, last time we did a vote, Mark. We
50,
had a.
I would say 60% still, because his clause runs out at the end of by Monday. I think on Monday it expires. So over the weekend, if contacts aren't made, it might be interesting to see what happens.
Okay, so guys, get your votes in on Jeremy Frimpong. Let's pull the trigger. You reckon 50? What did you say, Mark?
60%.
60%.
He has a release clause. I mean, he has a release clause. 34 million euros.
Kojo, you're mixing some drinks there. What's going on there?
A little juice. Got a little juice,
What the hell juice? What is in that juice, guys? What's wrong with you guys? Okay. All right. 60% is what Mark is saying. Let me see what you guys are saying in the VR room. Please enlighten us. You are in the mud. 38.57%, guys. At the end of the day, we got to move on to the show as well. We have very important news to talk about. We're going to talk about no other than Manuel Ugarte. Manuel Ugarte, who fell out from the. We saw the Uruguay, but everything is pointing towards the importance of getting rid of Casemiro. This deal is interlinked with Casemiro, and apparently Al Ittihad is now coming in to put in a £30 million bid for Casemiro. And no other than who is the persuader on that one, who is running the show over there? Benzema, apparently, pulling power. Do you reckon the Casemiro will go to Al Ittihad? Or what Flying Pig is saying, Al Tittifak? Oh, did I say that? Tourette's. Oh, Tourette's. Tourette's.
Oh, God.
Pig.
I mean,
Damn you.
Park is one of those teams that really interested as well, and Ittihad has said to me, have made contact with Casemiro's camp. We don't know what might transpire there. He has been in training. He has expressed that he wants to remain at United and see out his contract. If that is the desire, we don't know what might happen. You never know, but we are definitely going to see some movement in different parts of the squad, not just in in the midfield and in defense this semester. So let's see how it goes. I think it's a possibility that he might move.
Okay.
So yeah.
Hotometer, what do you reckon? Kojo, quickly, we're running out of time. What do you say? Last time we voted, it was on 78.57%. What do you say now?
Wow. 70%.
70%. Mark?
70. I'll say 70 because I think Ugarte is definitely coming in this summer.
Yep. Poppy, you there?
Oh, I'm there, and I think Ugarte is almost, yes, like 100, like almost very close to 100%.
Whoa. Bro,
Very close.
what's your
has, Papi has been
It's-
eating the Ineos stew, guys. So if anyone wants to know, this guy has been eating the Ineos stew.
The
Right?
Ineos Mafia is on the meta. They are on the assignment. You know?
Okay. I'm going to be sensible still. I'm going to pull on 80% because I believe it's gone up with 2% here. 80% is what I'm going to pull on, and boom, 78%, guys, 78%. The next one in line is the João Neves. Does it look like we're moving away from João Neves here? Or do you reckon that's going to be the one at the end of the window? Or do we think that we might get in a Xhavi Simons instead on loan?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. You know, a loan move for Xhavi Simons, a player we was linked to last summer. Very talented attacking midfielder. Possibly a replacement for Bruno. Who knows? You know, there's some reports that Manchester United are heavily driving the option for obligation to buy in the clause for the loan move, which means the loan move has been in advanced discussion because, you know, for us to be the one pushing for our obligation to buy, we have to be in serious contact with them. I think it's a very good opportunity to bring him in. He had a great Euros. He played very well for Leipzig. I think we should have gotten him last year. We'd have gotten him for like 12 to 20 million euros last year. So a little bit on our fault, but the new structure is doing well. You know, Dan Ash would say a loan with obligation.
Very important to understand here because it's Xhavi Simons has the power, not the clubs, nothing else. He decides. Fabrizio Romano said it. He decides. Now, what you said, we were very close to get him last season, and
last summer,
and the pulling power here is coming down. What I started the stream with, it is Vivel who worked at RB Leipzig that's pulling the strings here. So we know that Bayern Munich is interested in the player, but the player decides. Vivel is there whispering in his ear, come to play for Ruud van Nistelrooy and the guys. What do you reckon? Who's got the pulling power here? Who do you think that Xhavi Simons will choose as a loan?
That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer, guys. Like, I don't even want to say a comment because people will say I'm really on the copium tonight because Ruud van Nistelrooy is here. Rene Hacker is here. Ten Hag is here. Joshua Zirkzee is one of his good friends who, you know, you could see from some images of the Netherlands team training over the summer. He's here. Matthias de Ligt probably coming in. I see it as an environment that would foster the best out of him in any choice he can make, in my opinion, based on
Okay. Can we have your votes first on what did we have here? Okay, what do you reckon regarding João Neves? Do you think that there'll be a deal to be made at the end of the summer window?
Nah.
Yeah, why not?
40%.
I think it might even be earlier. It might be one of those things where, you know, because Xavi he wants to get the deal done very quickly. So it might be something where he does the deal happens much quicker than we expect.
Yeah. Listen, what you are saying here, Jawik is saying, Bratemik, I think Xhavi looking to be a starter somewhere. 100%. Listen, I still will say this is kind of 40% for me, so I go on that one. And I need to move on to Sofian Amrabat because he's also waiting to understand what's going on. Sofian Amrabat is a deal that we can make for 13 million. So what do you reckon? Will we pull the trigger on Sofian Amrabat?
I think it's a smart move as well. You know, I mean, Kojo, you could probably go on this one because I think we have the same opinion.
Of what, Xhavi Simons?
No,
yeah, no,
Amrabat.
I feel like what we're going to do with him is like...
Amrabat, I'm done. Sorry, Amrabat, I'm done. It was a lovely loan. He did try his best. When he played towards the end of the season, he was good. But, yeah, I'm... Cut ties.
Yeah.
Um,
Seems like Josef Fofana is going elsewhere as well. He's going to Milan by this looks of it, right? So nowhere to be gone. Okay, I say that Amrabat is still a 50%, guys.
Yeah, I would agree with the 50%. As much,
All right.
we are kind of agree with Kojo. I think a lot of his performances was what we expected from him, but I would also say that Amrabat strikes me as one of those players that need a run of game time to maintain fitness.
Let's pump up the energy and let's move on, guys, because we are pressed for time. We did put 80% on Manuel Ugarte, which most of you agreed on. 44% on João Neves is still there. Amrabat is still a 50%. Youssef Fofana is down to 10 because it's rumored that he's going to AC Milan, apparently, right? So he's kind of like slipping down. I still put a 20%. You never know, right? So I put 20%. Good. Boom. 27.74%. This is the one that we also going to talk about, which is Adrian Rabiot, which I believe will become a free agent for Manchester United. But I want to hear regarding Xhavi Simons, guys. We spoke about it. I want to hear your votes right here, right now. I start with Kojo. What do you think?
I'm going to give
Xhavi Simons to Manchester United on loan this March.
I'm going to give that 80%.
80. What the fuck? Okay.
Why not, man? Why not?
Well, I thought I was reckless, but I was going to say the same thing. So me and Coach are in agreement there.
Are you cut from the same cloth, mate?
Maybe, but you know, the logic is a deal that we could do. It's pretty easy, in my honest opinion, that we could do this deal. And if the player to decide, I don't see why he wouldn't. I think coming to Manchester United is a bigger opportunity than going.
It's an easy deal because now that everyone is talking to Xhavi's camp, right? Ten Hag is probably talking to him. Ruud van Nistelrooy is talking, trying to convince him, and it's Xhavi's choice, apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano. This is very important. He doesn't want to return to PSG, but he decides which move he wants to make. Now, he's been with RB Leipzig. He played it in Bundesliga. Of course, he wants to come to Premier League, a different challenge. So yeah, okay, guys, 80%. It's what you're saying there, Mark.
Yeah, 80%.
Yeah,
listen, guys, we need to push the agenda on this one, man. We've been starved of.
Yeah. We still have one veto power left here. It's power hour. Papi, you there? Xhavi.
Yeah. Catch me up again. Sorry, I was focused on the road.
Xhavi Simons on a loan to United. Xhavi has the power to decide the loan, not PSG, not Man United, but we did make an offer for the loan.
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one for me. Oh, what did Mark say?
70%, I think.
And Kojo?
80.
I think 75.
Okay, there's no 70. Okay, young man. Listen, I put it on 70% because you said that. You are smoking. You are smoking because the VR room has judged you on 39.23%, almost 40%, guys. Move on. Desiree Doué. This is something very interesting as well. Desiree Doué. This one is also independent. This is also depending on Xhavi Simons. What's going to happen with Xhavi? Because Desiree Doué is also linked to Bayern Munich. So if Bayern don't get Xhavi Simons, Desiree Doué might go to Bayern.
Possibly. And I mean, like, I do like the look of Desiree Doué. What are you saying, Papi?
Oh,
Papi.
Oh, okay. He's on mute, man. Let's move on. We are strapped for time, guys. We don't want to bore you too much. Let's move on. Desiree Doué. What I've been hearing is the Manchester United are very much interested, but I also look at priority.
I'm going to be safe on the road. My fault.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't make an accident, my friend. What I'm trying to say is that there's two targets that Manchester United looking at. They're seriously looking at Desiree Doué. I think he's a baller. He's 19 years of age, and he's available on 25 million, 100%. You know. But the other thing is that you can get a Xhavi Simons, which is more of a baller on a free with an obligation to buy. So I think that Manchester United will be looking at Xhavi Simons ahead of Desiree Doué with an obligation to buy at the end of the day because he doesn't want to return back to PSG. So what do you think? Desiree Dewey, would you still put him on a 40%, guys?
20.
Yeah, because of the Xavi loan deal thing, 40%. But
Okay.
could rise at any moment.
All right. The stock can rise anytime. We will do another voting post. Let's pull on 40%. Doom. Bosch. 37.5. The jury has voted. We are anonymous. Now let's go out to the outs, people, because at the end of the day, transfer window is not about ints, right? We got to finish off strong with outs. Harry Maguire. Do you think that Harry Maguire will be shipped out the door? That would be something. That would be a statement. That would be a statement if they managed to pull this through.
I mean, it could be interesting if it happens. I am not gonna say it's more than 40%. I think it will be up to if there's interest, which there are reported that there are some clubs that have contacted his camp about interest. So it will be up to the interest entirely. I don't think Manchester United at this point would probably get rid of him. I think they would want to keep him if we're losing the likes of, Lindelof, and we already lost Varane. I think having someone with experience in the squad, even though he might not be a starter next season, I think it would bode well for the squad.
Yeah. Kojo, you got the finger on the pulse regarding Maguire. I got to make a statement to say that if Manchester United are already on the market shopping for 3 centre-backs, these guys must be out of the door. They must have something aligned already.
Yeah, because we've already lost Varane. So who we got left? Lindelof, Maguire, and Martinez, right? Yeah. So if both Lindelof and Maguire are going, you have to replace all 3 of them. That's a must. Yep. So I think you're right. So, but I just don't know where he goes. Where would Maguire go to?
Well, we'll see. It's another headache. Last time you voted was on 61.43%. What do you reckon right here, right now, will be your vote on the Hotometer? Where do you think he will go? Like, he's definitely out of the door, right? 60, 70%, still 60?
60.
Okay, 60. All right, 60, Mark, you agree? Push. You're on mute still. Okay.
60 is good. I think that's fair.
60 is fair, guys. Let us know. Votes in on 60%, and it is still 61.25%, so it's close. Victor Lindelof, most likely 70%. He's going. 80%. He's going.
80%. I think he's gone.
80. Okay. 80. He's going for 80. That is increased on 70 points, something like. Wan-Bissaka, we spoke about him. He looks he's out of the door as well.
Yeah, I think this one might be a little bit more of a techie situation that might happen later into the window. So let me say 40% from me.
Still was 50% last time. Kojo?
40.
40. Oh, yeah. We're downgrading for 50 to 40. Are you sure? Guys, you guys were smoking something, right? All right. Are you tripping down? Are you tripping?
No, I just see because I forgot we forgot to talk about about Young Endor, the Swiss winger, and these things is why I feel like it might be 40% that he don't go, because if we do get this Endor youngster, I don't think we might get Frimpong. Because
it might be so. It might be so. We might keep him if we don't, if we miss that window. Okay, I agree with you. I downgraded to 40% then. 40% it is, and the chat don't agree. You're still on 50.65%, which I should have gone with my gut. Luke Shaw, is there any development? Will he be sold? Difficult.
He shouldn't be sold.
Big up Nero. I think it's to be fair, at this current point, I think it's more possibility that this could happen than Wan-Bissaka leaving. And the only reason I'm saying this is because of what Ineos is doing with the profiles, and the fact that last season he was diagnosed with stage 3 muscle atrophy. So those are the only 2 reasons. I don't think you could guarantee Luke Shaw to play 2-3 games a week. Maybe 1 at best, and he could only play for 60 minutes. And that's the issue.
Guys, I would really want to thank you guys. You've been troopers. We've been almost live for 1 hour and 50 minutes and 2,529 watching constantly. I'm really proud of this community, everyone that's tuning in. I hope you have a very, very entertaining time. This is very interactive. You can guys come in and vote every Friday on this one. But where are we with the likes at the moment? Yet again, likes is up to 147, and there's 2,500 watching. Can we be greedy to say, can we get 1,000 likes right here, right now? If it's 2,500, guys, help us out. Can we get some more likes, please? All right, so Luke Shaw, difficult one to do. 1 year left on his contract, injury prone. He's doing well. He will play in the finals against England. Will he be a starter? Will he start?
I think he has to. I'll be honest. I think he has to.
Must, yeah.
He has to. All right. Guys, at the end of the day, I think it's a 20%. He will not go, right? It's a difficult one to do. I will still agree 20%. Boom. Bosh. 23.3% what you're saying. Scott McTominay. Mighty Scott looks like Fulham is coming in for him. Kojo, what's your ear saying on the ground there regarding Scott McTominay and Fulham?
Yeah, I think because they've sold Paulinho, they're looking to bolster.
Yeah, he's done.
I'd say it's likely he goes there. Actually, I say it's likely, and good for him. Good for him going.
Okay,
making it elsewhere.
Yeah, last time we had a vote, it was ended on 52.86%. I think Scott McTominay. We get an important bid, 40 million for Scott McTominay. That is massive for the FFP, right?
And you know what Scott McTominay, like, I feel like he's a player that will flourish at a Fulham. You know, like he can become. He has the potential to like even become a key part of the squad. You know, and it's just like the type of profile of player he is he's not like somebody who was cut for Manchester United if you want to like really compete for titles. But you know, good player.
Okay.
You know.
So should we say, what should we say? Should we increase it to 60%?
I say 70%. That's just me.
All right then. Okay, 70%, guys. At the end of the day, it's what you votes as well. 70%, 55% what you have said there. So I said I had a gut feeling that he will end up on 55%. That is the deals out. Christian Eriksen, the final straw. Now Christian Eriksen is going, right?
Yeah, I think the loan for Xavi means that he's gone. That's actually why I'm so adamant that I think we get in Xavi, because I think that's because Eriksen is leaving.
Yeah, right. What's the chance? Last time we voted was 64.2%. He ain't staying. 70. Kojo?
70 all day. Game gone.
Poppy? 70. Eriksen? The guy that died and woke up again? Okay, what's Uncle Jimmy saying? Jimmy's in the house.
Big up, Jimmy.
Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up.
Come on.
What are you saying? Christian Eriksen out. 70%.
Yo, Wagwan people. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I just I got caught up in some other things in it. But,
That's okay. We are down to Christian Eriksen. What do you think?
What
will he leave?
You doing in or out? What's going on?
We're doing the
right
out stage at the moment here. We're in the last phase.
We are coming to the end.
So we was discussing that we might be looking to loan Xhavi Simons for a loan and we trying to negotiate an obligation to buy into the contract. So
yeah.
My thinking is that
I've said that's a good deal. Good deal, that one. That would be a good deal.
We're right. And my thinking is that based on the fact that we might be doing that, might be one of the reasons that might say that Eriksen is on the way out this season.
Yeah. Facts.
Okay. All right. So we pull the trigger on 70% on Christian Eriksen. Shall we? All right. Let's do that. We are coming to the end of the show, people. So thank you much for tuning in. 65% is what you are saying. Thank you so much. And let's move on to the final piece, which not really final piece. Casemiro, as what we deluded before, there is strong negotiations. I almost say Al-Tittifaq, but it's Al-Hitti.
Al-Ittifaq.
Yes, sorry about
that.
I am so damaged by speaking to Joe, like, Flying Pig United. He always say Al-Tittifaq. Yeah, sorry about that one. It's Friday, uncensored, uncut. Bids coming in for £30 million apparently, and he's being persuaded by Benzema and everything. He looks like he's going, guys.
Yeah, I would say it looks like it. I mean, what more can you say? I mean,
yeah.
The market. You see, the market now. The problem I've got is with the market now is like I don't even know what value now it is anymore. Like I don't know what player is worth what anymore. You know, it's gone so. Everything is just a bit jumbled up. I don't know how to value players anymore.
All right,
you know what
guys.
I mean?
At the end of the day, he's definitely going. I mean,
He's going.
I can't see that he's going. Last time we had a 62% vote on it. So, guys, what do you say is the percentage? Has it gone up a bit into 70% now with Al Hittat?
It should be on 80, but yeah, 70.
Gojo, whatever you're drinking there, stop. All right,
It's Friday,
guys.
man.
Okay, I go with Kojo. I go with his delusion, so I go with 80%. All right, let's pull the trigger, and we need to move on. Basically, you guys have said 65% chance. Mason Greenwood, we spoke about him. What is the chance of Mason? Apparently, we spoke about this. I don't want to sort of dwell on the Mason story. Is there a chance that he will stay?
If Sancho can stay, then why can't Mason stay? You know,
exactly.
That's all I can say to that. That's
exactly.
All I can say.
Yeah, I would say this one might be a 50-50 situation at this point, especially with the recent PR that is starting to come out on Mason Greenwood. You know, we're talking about the video that we showed earlier. I don't know if you saw that, Uncle Jimmy, that Harriet posted on her Twitter, on her socials. I think maybe with what, especially with what the Marseille mayor has said, I think that would have stalled things and may have give Man United something to consider in terms of protecting the player, in my honest opinion, and his family.
Yeah, we have one more like 150, and there's over 2,500. Wow, what's going on here, people? Can we get up to 1,000 likes? So that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying, and I kind of agree with you in that notification that if we can forgive Sancho that basically pissed on the badge and disrespected, why can't we just forgive Greenwood? And honest to God, we spoke about this earlier to say, look, you know, we know that United won 40 million for him. We're not going to get that money, right? We're trying to sort of test the market what we can get. But at the end of the day, he's a Manchester United player. He needs to come back and train, and he needs to be part of that season because he's contracted to Manchester United. So yeah.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm quite surprised about the Sancho thing, but I'm not. You know what? I'm not surprised at the same time because you know he's a Manchester United player. So yeah, you're right. He should show up for duty. He should come and train. What surprised me though is the fact that he's actually spoken to Ten Hag. It sounds like there's been an actual conversation that's happened. So I think that for me has surprised me a bit because I thought it was going to be one of those things that he's going to come back and maybe be in limbo and then end up going away in January after sort of spending half the season doing nothing. So I'm surprised that, you know, his camp I think it would have come from his camp. It wouldn't have come from Man United. Man United weren't desperate for him to come back. So there's no reason for Manchester United to push for a conversation with him. So Manchester United would have said, look, he's got a contract with us, so he's going to have to come back. So that's where they would have left it. So his camp have decided, let's have a conversation with the manager. They've had a conversation with the manager, and it looks like he's going to actually try and integrate him back into the team. Now, based off his performances at Dortmund, you know, at the back end of the season, I've got no problems with that whatsoever. No problems for me.
Okay. So let's say it's like this, because there was a report saying that he had chats, Greenwood had chats with the executives. And they pretty much say, I think that they told Greenwood that we have a price in mind. We have 40 million. If we're not getting that, you're back in, right? I think that is the conversation. I think that they have a conversation with each single player. And if they can forgive Sancho for what he did, integrate him to the squad, they're saving a lot of money at the end of the day. And it's all about squad depth at the end of the day. It's all about building a championship winning team, like, you know, a Premier League winning team and everything, winning every trophy. So I wouldn't have a problem if they gave him another chance, right?
Well, you don't win trophies with you don't win trophies by just having a perfect squad, do you? Look at any team that's won trophies. There's always this drama in the squad. So, you know, we're due our drama. We've had all the drama in the world last season. So I think we deserve to have a season where the drama has been settled and we can just have a season of building on the football. So for me, it's not, you know, it's fine, man. It's fine. Sancho, come back. Welcome home, bro.
Sancho, come back.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna be stuck with these two boys, honestly, because, like, you know, there's a sort of, like, train of thought that I went on, thinking that what if nobody wants to buy Sancho for the right price, they all undervalue, and then we end up with him. And then what if also Greenwood also, it becomes one of those things where any club that sort of wants him, there's gonna be like a morality, like like uproar from some whatever local mayor, local governor, whatever, but and then sort of like this train of thought ended up with me thinking, we might just by default just end up keeping both of them in a weird way by just some sort of evolution of circumstances. That would be something interesting though, Anyway,
Kojo, you have the final say on this one as well, Kojo, before they pull the trigger.
Yeah, I'm keeping Sancho. I think we've dealt with the nasty. It's been a tumultuous 12 months, but if him and Ten Hag can bless it through, getting back training, getting fit, build a squad, he's a star player, man. Use him. I'm okay. It's done.
Because of the combination that people are not ready for is Sancho and Zirkzee. They could have a link-up partnership.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think that. Do you know what? I'm so glad you said that, because I was talking about this to my cousin. I'm not literally an hour before I joined this. Like, I was talking to my cousin about if you have Sancho playing the way he played back end of the season at Dortmund last season, if you have him playing in that role, and then you've got Zirkzee. So if he is gonna, it works either way. If he goes with 3 at the back or whether he doesn't go with 3 at the back, because I think if we get Ugarte, we don't play 3 at the back. I think if we don't get Ugarte, then he's going to have to play 3 at the back. That's just how I see it. But if you have Sancho playing the way he played at Dortmund back end of last season, with Zirkzee playing in pretty much anywhere on that left-hand side of the attack, you have a very, very difficult attack to stop, because they can both play on either side of those wings. And even when they invert, they can play on either side of that inverting position. So it's very difficult as a defender to kind of know, who do I put my attention on? Sancho, but then his nonsense might then stop because Zirkzee is taking over the nonsense. And now you have to focus on him. So I think it's a difficult proposition if they're both firing the way that I think they could. So Manchester United fans should be excited, bro. They should be excited about that attack. I think you're right. You're very right.
Okay, so Jace, basically this is the outs, right? So basically it was 74% out. So if we then decrease the temperature, that means that we have to go backwards. So 75% was the vote last time. Do you reckon that's gone down right now? 50-50 now. Anyone?
I mean, I think so. I think it might be interesting. And to be honest, I think it's options. We have options. We can choose what we need to do. The biggest thing for me with Sancho, for anyone that's disputing whether he's coming back or not, is him working out the stuff with the manager and the team. And if the team and the manager are willing to accept him back, as a fan, I have to back that, because they are the ones going in the trenches and they know what they need to win us games. And we want them to win us games. So we have to trust them as well. That's what
listen, at the end of the day, we spoke about this lengthy, this 20 minutes we spoke about this. So listen, we are not the P&L holders of the club. We don't make the calls. Like, we have opinions, whatever you think, whatever they think. At the end of the day, whatever the club decides to do, they have to do it swiftly. Like, they have to come out and they have to do a statement. He's a fantastic player, and I look at from a, I don't look at from a, I look at from a human side of the player. So for me now, I think this is now coming up from a, you start to see the PR.
Have to tell us now, Mick. I don't think the club.
But
I don't think
you can see what's coming out in the ether.
Now,
Jimmy, what I'm trying to say is, you see that the PR is now spinning. This tells me that they've been trying to sort of. They've been trying.
Let it burn. Let the PR burn. Let the media do what they're doing, because it creates an unnecessary noise that's really good for them to keep operating in the background the way that they have with all these deals. Let the media speculate all they want. The club will be in the background doing what they're doing professionally. And this is what I'm excited about. Everyone can keep talking. I don't care. The club don't need to announce anything until they're ready to. This is how.
But don't you think that? Don't you think, guys, I'm asking you, everyone, the viewers, everyone, don't you think that they're going out to the market to test the market evaluation for Greenwood to see what they can get?
Oh, yeah,
If it's not to their satisfaction?
Oh, you have to. Yeah, you have to. You have to.
We got to pull the trigger, guys. What do you think? Last time was on 74.6%. Do you think it's cooled down now to 50? I repeat the question. Mark, you're on mute.
I think it's about 50-50 at the moment. I think there could be massive changes according, there's Dan Ashford is here. Omar Berada is starting work. I think there could be massive changes to some situations,
Okay. We just lost, who did we lose? Kojo disappeared. I think he had too much of his juice, his jungle juice, to be honest. Okay, so 50% then. We got to finish off the stream. Let's do this, people. It's going to be interesting to see what you guys have been voted. We already did a poll, and I think it was a big majority to say forgive him. Okay, so 50% it's gone down 50%. Damn, 73.79. Maybe you misunderstood. So 73.79 think that he will be sold. Guys, at the end of the day, this is your vote. This is your opinion. We're only here to say because Jadon Sancho is back in the ring. The Trinidad and Tobago, Jadon Sancho. He kissed the ring. Apparently, he's part of the preseason tour. But is it for him to be part of the preseason tour to get fit and to be sold? There's a lot of speculations. Or will it be integrated in the squad?
I don't think Manchester United would have leaked the information about him having a conversation with the club if they were planning on just selling him on. I think they would have kept that under wraps until the last minute.
They want to keep him.
Yeah, I think they've leaked it because they know that they want to get the fans gauge how the fans feel about it, and they're probably going to be happy about the response because I think majority of the response has been, oh well, fair play, let's see what happens in it. So the club will be happy with that, and that's why they've leaked it. So yeah, I think they want to keep him.
Yeah, guys, I just want to reiterate Stephanie Griffith, one of our key moderators, head moderators. Keep it stream, keep it civil, guys. Right. So whatever you have opinions, you might have strong opinions regarding certain things, but keep it simple. Keep it civil and keep it humane. So let's go on to put the vote. What do you say, gents? What do you say? Jadon Sancho to stay or to be sold?
I think
just to say that this is now the outs. This is the percentage of him going out. So which is staying on 76. But now if he's staying, that goes down. If you know what I mean.
All right. Yeah. So I would say him leaving, I would say 10% chance.
Ooh,
I'd say about 10-20%. I think one of the things a lot of people may not have picked up on is I think Erik ten Hag pretty much really likes Jadon Sancho and his abilities, what he has to offer. I think the situation of the argument was more disappointing for him, and maybe Sancho also realized that it was disappointing for him as well. It may have just turned out to be a moment of rash thinking on both sides. Maybe I think. The manager gave him his most starts at United out of any manager, 41 compared to 20.
You know what? I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I just need to comment quickly on what you've just said about, because the narrative was always, Ten Hag was this bully manager, bullying this player. And I think people don't realize that actually, I think it was more, he was so disappointed in Jadon Sancho because he thought that should have gone very, very differently because he had quite a lot of faith in Sancho's abilities and he was kind of working with him maybe in a slightly different way to other players, but I think he was more disappointed than he was angry at Jadon Sancho. So what I'm seeing now, I'm seeing reconciliation of a father and son. I'm not seeing sort of a bully who's back down. I'm not seeing that at all. I'm just seeing Ten Hag saying, "Welcome back home. Now let's work. Let's play some football."
But Jimmy, this is what I said. He came into Ten Hag. He put his Spotify on and he played Bryan Adams. Please forgive me.
What? Who did? Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, this is showed up.
But that's him, innit? That's his personality. You can't, what I mean? That's just how he is.
And then he invited Ten Hag to play Twitch together. It's FIFA.
Well, there you go. There you go. So but for me, I hope it works out. I really hope it works out. I hope it's better.
Just before we vote, I just want to say thank you, Realist United, for being a great moderator. Ciao, adios, amigos, brate, spawaj lepo, imaj dobro. And yeah, I saw your message. Don't take it personal, but we say chill, keep it civilized as per usual. You know the rules with the channel. Okay, so you saying 10% that he's staying now, guys?
Yeah, I think I don't know 10% that he's leaving. I think he's.
Okay.
I think it's very low that he would leave. And I know Mustplay, you're asking this question about Anthony as well. I would say Sancho, from what we've seen of him and where Ten Hag has used him, I think he will be used more on the left in this season, based on what the players we are bringing into the club. And importantly to note, he offers something different to Sancho, to Anthony as well. He's more of a techie winger that links up well. You know what I mean? So Erik Ten Hag, he plays with one winger that pulls the limit wide and breaks the lines, and he plays with one that kind of holds up the play on the other side. It's like a balance thing. So, you know, his profile is pretty decent. And to be honest, like, I just feel like, you know, while he has not delivered before, who's to say that he can't have a better season next season? That's just my opinion on that.
Okay. Before we round out the stream, guys, as per tradition, what we do on the channel, get your Q&As in, get your questions in, and the way you do it is put Q or question and ask the question. We'll round up the show with your questions. We will display it and we will discuss it within the panel. So you guys are saying 20%, so let's do this. 20% he's staying. I agree. It looks like it because there's no, oh shit, 75%. Maybe you misunderstood the whole voting system here, guys. Anyway, get your questions in. And Marcus Rashford looks like he's staying too, right? He was on the radar.
Come on,
Marcus Rashford.
He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going
10% now.
Less than 10%. Less than 10%.
I still say
Mark.
20%, Jimmy.
20.
Hey?
Okay.
I
20.
still say 20%, but I only saying that because, you know, the one thing I would say that for is the fact that the French league need someone who could really bring in some ratings.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
as much as, you know, PSG
reason.
might be looking at young players, Marcus Rashford is the guy that would probably bring 100,000 viewers to the league. So,
yeah,
interesting stuff.
You know what? That's the for me, that's the only thing that would have the pull on Marcus Rashford, because I think they would offer him a Mbappe deal in the sense of they would say, you're going to be the face of the league, right? And I think that pull would come from not just PSG. I think it would come from other clubs as well. I think they would all be in support of having, you know, an English talent who's got an MBE from the Queen of England. You know, I think that's a big pull for their league as well. So I can see that as being a reason for him going away.
You know, I like my you know I like my analogy, and this is a uncensored Friday. So Marcus Rashford, if you had low libido last season, you know, you were missing the Viagra. So now you turn around, you're getting excited, you're getting horny, mate. Like, you know, you're seeing who's around, the coaching staff, with the recruiting in. I believe he's going to be exciting. He's going to be excited. He's going to be hungry.
He wants to play in the Premier League next season. He wants to play. I'll tell you what Marcus Rashford wants. Marcus Rashford wants a midfield of a firing Maino, a firing Ugarte. He wants that. He wants Bruno firing up after the Euros. You know, because Bruno played well at the Euros. He wants a fired up Bruno ahead of those midfielders. Yeah. And then he wants Luke Shaw coming back fit, ready to play football. He wants that. If he has that in the team and the team is playing well, you're going to see the Marcus Rashford that we've seen when the midfield was playing okay. So that's what's going to happen.
He's going to hunt again. He's going to be hungry.
He's going to be hungry again.
All right. So marginal chance, 20%, guys. So let's do that. I agree with you. I think what I said my piece. I think he's going to be hungry. I think he's going to score a lot of goals. 20%. Marcus Rashford, 26. And that's about it. That conducts the overall transfer rating. And I just need to hit where the Hotometer is. Yeah, you want to view the Hotometer right now, where he stands. Is Manuel Ugarte still leading on 77.9%. Matthias de Ligt is following third place. And apparently, Sofiane Amrabat is on third. Because we have some news coming in from Rush Maynard to say Fab just said in the future of Amrabat we decided earlier next week. I think the United will pay £13 million for Amrabat. Smart deal.
You know what? If you look at the midfield market, I don't see why you wouldn't. You would, wouldn't you? You would just pay it because you've got someone who's learned from his mistakes. We know that he's a hardworking player. There's no question about his work rate. So if you've got a player who's had an average season in the Premier League as his first season, but he can, I mean, if I can identify his mistakes, he can identify his mistakes very easily. He's an intelligent player. He's a very, very intelligent player. So I think he's going to be fine next season. So I think so. And keep him.
I think that, guys, we are going to the done deal as soon as everything is finalized. This is per automation. You go into the done deal to find out. We have a done deal for Joshua Zirkzee. The next one in line, I believe, it's going to be Matthias de Ligt. The deals out so far, Rafael Varane, Alvaro Fernandez, and I need to update this as well. But as you can see, total spend so far, 35.8 million. And that, my dear friends, is going to be paid in amortization, which means, we'll pay about 12 million this first year for Joshua Zirkzee, which is a smart business. Guys, we're going to go to the Q&A section. Mark, do we have any questions lined up before we... This is a marathon stream, by the way. I hope you had value for your Friday. What?
You're mute again.
This guy needs a sign language like...
Sorry, guys.
We need to learn sign language. We just
big up. Sorry, guys. Nick asks with a question, and I will pose this question to you, Mick, and then I would pose it to you, Uncle Jimmy. Poppy, if you're hearing me, you could always chime in afterwards. If Sancho stays, I don't know, do you think Ahmad will go?
Nope.
What are your thoughts, guys?
Nope. Ahmad will not go.
Nope, not a chance. Ten Hag is not letting Ahmad go nowhere to no one. If people think Ahmad is going to go anywhere, you are lying to yourself. And this is why Zirkzee is the last attacking player that we're going to buy in the window, because Ahmad is in his plans. So,
okay, Papi, you there? What are your thoughts, bro?
He doesn't have Tesla autopilot. Okay, that's
maybe he doesn't have autopilot, but I also agree with that comment. I think Ahmad is favored by the coach as well. I think Sancho and Ahmad will complement us. We need to have backup, and we need to have backup who's not a drop-off from the starters. I think having a player on the bench, like whether it's Ahmad starting today or Sancho starting today or Anthony, these options are necessary. There are different types of games to be played and different types of wing options you would need to win those games. So that's what I would say, guys.
Yeah.
And
just wanted to say, I just want to say 2,829 watching on this Friday. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around and watching. This has been quite interesting. We're doing a marathon, 2 hours and 20 minutes, well over extra time. When we come into the penalties, and the perfect penalty you will score by smashing the like button, please. Can we get more likes up, more temperature up, please? It's free. Thumbs, finger that like button, what Kevin is saying. Next question.
Guys, Nero is coming in asking a question, and he's like, FA Cup, Europa League, and title charge. What are your thoughts?
See,
Mick is running. Let's see what Jimmy thinks.
I you know what? It's I don't know. I think I would.
Poppy, wake up for this one.
Listen. I would, because we've won the 2 cups. I'm not desperate for just another trophy for the sake of a trophy. I would rather go for a title push personally, because I think you'd rather make grounds in the Premier League challenge than you would in any other tournament. I don't think we need the Europa League as such. I don't see that as, I don't see that as anything that I desire at the moment. I'd rather be pushing Arsenal.
Do you think we'll go deep into the finals in Europa League?
I would. I don't care about it enough. I really don't. I don't care about it enough at all. I don't care about it, because for me it's a Mickey Mouse trophy.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a Mickey Mouse trophy to me.
All right. Something fell off the tree and hit Jimmy in the head. We should win trophies, Jimmy.
I disagree strongly with you there, Jimmy, for the first time.
I just for me we should be going for the Premier League so that we can be challenging for the Champions League. The Europa League just doesn't. It gives me no.
Jimmy,
it gives me no. It's no Viagra for me. I'm sorry.
Jimmy. Uncle Jimmy, what's going on? Like,
it doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do it for me. The Europa doesn't do it for me.
Jimmy, you need some Viagra, please.
Jimmy, I understand that the Europa League is not the UCL, right?
It's not. When
I know it's not, right? But hear me out on this perspective, right, Jimmy? I think I think in terms of our performance in the league, I think organically we'll definitely be somewhere in and about the top 6. Definitely, that's a fact. I don't think there's any
I don't want to be top
lows
6.
there. But I think to say that we should give up the cups to focus on the league, that's something Arsenal does. I disagree with that.
No, you know what? Unfortunately, we are where Arsenal were 3 years ago. No, I'm talking about in terms of, you know, if the puzzle comes together the way that we think it's going to come together, we are where Arsenal were. Maybe let's go 2 years ago. Maybe let's be generous. 2 years ago. And what I mean by that is, this is going to be the first time where we're going to see some sort of football identity when we approach games. I'm not talking about style of football like everyone keeps saying, but it's going to be sort of the first time that maybe Ten Hag will have as close to a team that he needs as possible. So we're going to see, hopefully, some proper football being played at the club, which is where Arsenal were 2 years ago. So having said that, I don't think that we've won the FA Cup, we've won the Carabao Cup, whatever these cups are called now. We've won the cups. We won the Europa League not that long ago. Of course, maybe it is long ago now. It feels like it's not that long ago, but it is actually. But my point is, I don't desire those trophies anymore. I desire the Premier League because it's been so long. It's been so long since we won the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I desire that more than anything in the world.
I mean, that's the greatest title that we could chase this season, or any season, in my honest opinion. But more than the Europa League, because, I mean, that shows that we rule England, right? But I would say this, right? I think it's too soon to focus to win a Premier League this season. I think we should progress in steps and, you know, win the Europa League. It gives us UCL either way. I think going further into a cup and keeping that momentum of going deep in cups will take us in a different direction to Arsenal along a similar path.
I get
because for me, focusing on the league is good and all, but we have to be able to attack on multiple fronts.
Well,
and
can
that's
I
where I
just
would
come
stay
in
on.
and say like this famous boy band song, step by step, ooh baby, step one. And I agree with what you're saying, Jimmy. It's all, if we manage to pull the puzzle in, apparently, and it looks like we are getting the right pieces of puzzles in. And
I'm not saying we can win the league, by the way.
Can I finish? Let me land. So basically, we've been trying to solve this puzzle, like this jigsaw puzzle, by putting wrong pieces and trying to force feed them. But the way we are operating right now, we're getting the right system players, and we're getting rid of the puzzles that don't fit, right? So, you know, round holes in square pegs doesn't work, right? You know, square pegs in round holes, whatever you say. But for me, what is to say that we get everything together this season, right? The way we're moving, the backroom stuff is complete. The players that we're signing. You look at what's going on with Liverpool is rebuilding. They have Arneslot coming in. The one that, you know, Arsenal is more likely to win the league in terms of it. But what's to say that United cannot, depending on if they gel, to say they could be up there, right? So I certainly believe that title charge this season is not a part of the conversation at the moment, right? I would say. But bear in mind, I think we will finish top 4 at least. Like, you know, we'll be challenging up there. We will give absolutely City
if we focus
run
on it, if we pay attention to the league, yes, I think we will.
Okay, good. Yes, I love my boy band music. No, I don't. I love my metal music, my rap music. I love music in general. Next question, please, and move on.
I think that was the last of the questions so far, guys.
There was a lot of
things. The guys want to drop 1 or 2 more questions for you. Oh, no. Actually, my bad. We have a question for you, Mick, from Duncan Bolito.
Oh, hang on a second. Good question. Nice question. Here she is. She's the one that fell 5 floors from the balcony. Look at her. She's good.
She looks good. Looks good as anything.
She's small. Thank you for the question. We were so worried. We looked for her for 5 days. She fell from 5 floors from the balcony, to be honest. And she was gone for 4 days. Apparently, the neighbors saw her land on the feet. I mean, they say the cats have 9 lives, but imagine 5 floors.
That's
Nah,
interesting.
Thank you.
Your cats are ridiculous, bro. They're like
Exactly what Stephanie says.
Like-
8 lives left. It's like you're playing that. Boom, wait. We're blessed.
And next question, and I'm gonna direct this to Bots and Uncle Jimmy, right? And Mick, well, you'll close it up after. The ideal midfield for next season. Let's go with you, Bots. I haven't heard from you in a while. If you're there, unmute.
He doesn't hear you. He's driving.
Okay,
Go
well,
to Jimmy.
Uncle Jimmy, what are your thoughts on the ideal midfield for next season?
So ideal midfield 3.
Midfield for next
Yeah.
season, yeah.
I would say, I want Kobe, I want Ugarte, and I want Bruno ahead of them.
Okay. So, guys, before you think, because I gotta share something from Rushmano, and he came in, and this is what came out from Rushmano to say that Fabrizio Romano is saying, understand Manchester United are planning to make a decision on Sophie and Amrabat next week. There's still there's still the option to buy Amrabat available, but the internal decision will be made soon next week. Amrabat planning to leave Fiorentina and waiting for Manchester United. That's about it, guys. That's from Fabrizio Romano. Thank you, Rushmano.
Amazing. Yo, guys, sorry, I could hear you guys, but I was far away from the microphone. My fault. I also just wanted to say big up to you guys. Happy Friday. I'm gonna step out real quick and start another show. So big up to you guys. Yeah.
Go tune into Papi's channel, please.
But
Papi,
before you
you
go
ideal.
quickly, just give us your ideal midfield 3 before you run away.
Ooh, midfield 3. Maino
You
is
can
in-
include players that we've been linked to this summer. So
I mean, Maino is obviously in there, no question. He's in there. Oh, but players that we've been linked. Let's see. So it's gonna be Maino, obviously Bruno, and then I like what Ugarte brings, but like I feel like we can do more. We can dig deeper. So I don't know.
Danny Olmo?
Danny Olmo is nice, but like that midfield would be so imbalanced. Like if you had, here's the thing, I'd go with the Swiss knife guy that we was talking about earlier on, Mark. Kadigilio can also play central midfield. That's one of his other positions, and that's why I'm saying this kid is somebody we gotta get. Like he is incredible, guys. I've never seen a player that has played so many games, left winger, right winger, attacking midfield, second striker, DM, center back. Like he might as well play goalkeeper as well. He's a well-rounded athlete, and he's a big.
Yeah, but what about Rabiot? We forgot about Rabiot for free.
Rabiot is good. Rabiot is good. I would say I'm with Edward though. Bring back Sabitzer. Come on, one more dance. Why not?
Okay.
Big up, guys.
No, but
what are you thinking
I
about
think
the
Sabitzer brings a
midfield?
lot.
What are your thoughts, bro?
Big up, man. Big up. Yeah, I don't think Sabitzer brings like that much more than other players. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there's anything sort of special there for me.
Okay.
Mick, your thoughts? Ideal midfield 3?
I still think that Ugarte makes sense because he's not your ball carrier. He's more of the destroyer. He's Fred on steroids. His job is to glue the attack and the defense. So his job will be just to pick up the ball from the defense and transport it, to the final third. But he can play the final. He's a Duracell bunny, and he's got abundance of energy. So he can play the single pivot, but we still need a ball carrier, and it could be like a João Neves to be complementary. But he will bring out the best of Kobe Maino, to be honest. And we still have, Mason Mount that I forgot that we have. So it might be just one signing there. Huh?
Yeah, I see Mason Mount filling in different positions. So that's why I like Mason Mount too.
Yeah. So I might say that the ideal midfield is to be smart. It's to say, you get a Rabiot for free, 100%. You trigger that 13 million for Amrabat. You have 2 CDMs in one position. That means rotation. Plus, you embed in Collier as well. Apparently, they signed his first professional contract. Then you have 3 players for one position, right? You got to have at minimum 3 players for each position. So for me, the central defense has been fixed by the looks of it. And then we move on to the midfield, which is the priority in my opinion. If we get the midfield sorted and we get the defense sorted, then we're good. We have wingers, we have attackers, and that is the end of the window. We need dynamism, we need athleticism, we need players that can press high. If we play like, I don't know if we're going to play 3-6, whatever we play, I don't know, 3-5-2 or whatever it might be. But the midfield's going to be pivotal next season.
It's definitely going to be, I think it's going to be very interesting. The midfield three, man, it's going to be difficult to decide the best three going forward. Right now in my mind, it's Kobe, Ugarte, and Bruno. But that could change as the season progresses because you never know who's going to shine, who's going to step up to the plate. I think it's pretty exciting. And, as Miro was saying,
you could even get Eriksen playing some good football next season. You just never know, innit? You could get him.
Well, the problem,
consistent performances. You never know, innit?
I think that's interesting as well. But the only thing with the Eriksen thing is because I think we're linked to Xhavi Simons. I think that kind of spells the end of Eriksen at United.
Okay,
but I don't know how easy the Simmons deal is, but I've not.
All right, all right. But that's about it. That's the final question I would say as well. It's been a long, lengthy stream. We've done 2 hours and 35 minutes. Another Jarvis Cocker classic. First time I ever done it, to be honest. So to summarize things are moving. The club is acting like a club what we've never seen before. It's been 11 years, and now we have the right structure. Omar berada starts tomorrow. Sancho has kiss and made up. Apparently, he's going to be part of the squad. We've spoken about Greenwood. Jonny Evans signed a new contract. Congratulations, Jonny Evans, as well. Ugarte seems to be dependent on Casemiro deal, and Al Ittihad is coming into.
Did you say Jonny Evans signed a new contract?
Yes, he did. He signed a new deal.
I didn't know that. I didn't
1
know
year
that.
deal.
First time I've heard.
Lenny Yoro seems to be a yes to Manchester United by the looks of it, because Real Madrid is looking for alternatives. They're not going to meet the current bid.
I don't know why he would want to go there. I'm sorry to like.
Yeah,
I know we're trying to finish, but like, I don't know why Why would you want to go to Real Madrid? You're not going to start, and you're not going to be the substitute.
Yeah, we covered this before. Yeah, we did that. So I don't want to repeat
it's like you're not going to start. You're not going to even come on as a sub. Why are you going there? Why are you insisting on going somewhere you're not wanted that much?
I don't think he will, because for him it's all about development. Like, you just look at his current French comrades, the Kamavinga, Tchouaméni. Like, they took them 2 years to even, and they're not even regular starters, right? So yeah. So let's move on from that. Brentford looks like we are coming in for a third bid. We are getting 3 centre backs, and I think that will happen at the end of the day. The Ligt seems to be the Ligt is 99%. Here we go. Zirkzee signed, did a medical big up. Looks like he's getting number 9 shirt by the looks of it.
Oh right. Oh okay. That's good. Oh, because Martial's gone.
Yeah. So and number 9 shirt, and Rasmus Højlund, what you told me, Mark, will take the number 11.
Yeah, Rasmus Højlund. I think he's attached to the number. I think he's going to keep it. So far, the reports are that Zirkzee is getting the number 9. I think that's fair enough. You know what I mean?
It makes sense. It makes sense for me. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. I just want to personally thank everyone that's tuning in. Thank you for contributing. 2,974 watching at the moment with 163 likes. Thank you so much. If you do watch this in retrospect, I really hope you were entertained this Friday, and hopefully see you very, very soon, guys. Manchester United are playing on Monday. Hopefully we do a watch along. We are playing Rosenborg. We'll be there for you. The season kicks on. And until then, people, what can we say? We are moving bits on the market. We are finally seeing something that excites me, right? Ineos, what are you doing? Potentially, I had my doubts, but the proof will be in the pudding. But we are moving towards. They're doing the right thing, so I'm supporting that, guys. And at the end of the day, I'm running out of gas. So thank you, people, for everyone, for the gifted memberships, for the super chats. You are legends. Thank you.
Guys, smash the like button before you go. If you haven't, just hit the like button, please. Just hit the like button.
And I have officially given Zorro the Z, the Zorro, the Zirk. I call him the Zirk. And I'm positive we're going to get Lenny Longlegs. I'm feeling giddy now.
It's interesting. I think it's going to be very good. I think we're going to have a decent window, a very nice one for one in a long time.
Oh.
I think it's going to
But
bring
Ten
a
Hag,
wave
I'm
of
happy for
change.
Ten Hag. You know, I'm really
Me
happy
too,
for
bro.
Ten
I
Hag
think
to be able to get the players that he needs. I'm happy for him for that, man. I'm really happy.
Gents,
for him.
before I finish, what number do you think Matthias de Ligt will get?
I don't know. I never think about defenders' numbers, to be honest.
4?
I don't know. Would he
3
get
is
the
available.
4? I don't know.
3? John Wick is saying 3.
Yeah,
Who's,
I think
who's
it's
number
3
5?
as well.
Who's
I'll
5?
agree with
Who's
him.
number 5?
Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire.
5.
He plays false number 5.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't care defenders' numbers, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Just engagement. Guys, it's been a great show. Noah Taylor is what you're saying, guys. I am absolutely gassed. I got to go to the airport in a few minutes.
Hey.
It's time to say goodbye. But beautiful people, thank you, Melis Cast. Thank you, everyone. Legends in the house. Thank you for all your questions. Brendan Chappelle, John Wick as well. Who else do we have here? We had so many new people. Tommy Boyle for your super chat. Alex Dirks, Brendan Chappelle, Melis Caps. We had legendary Stephanie Griffith moderating. We had Lillis as well. Wizard. We had Nero. Guys, Edward Reed. So many legends. Guys, I can shout you out, but we will do another marathon since I just want to say thank you for coming in. Thank you, Uncle Jimmy. Thank you, Power Hour. And who else did we have here? Kojo as well, mixing up the juice.
Cheers,
it's been fantastic.
Cheers.
It's been fantastic. It's been fantastic. Guys, see you to the next one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Glory, glory, Manchester United. And Mark, what do we say here on this channel?
Big up. Go Bananas. Love United. Hate the Glazers. And don't forget to smash those likes. You know, you got it here every day, guys. Big up.
By the way, Tommy Boyle just became a Realist member as well. Big up, Tommy, for coming in late as well.
Big up, bro.
Tommy, you came in the nick of hours. Thank you, Tommy, as well. So, guys, it's time to close the shop. It's time to say goodbye. we can't separate each other.
Cheers. Good night, guys.
Bye for now.
Guys. Thanks,
Good
man.
evening. Cheers. Bye for now. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.